Kemba Walker, step back, Walker, cardiac Kemba, does it again!
Ubilis, 7 seconds to go. Three-pointer. Oh! Hutchins! Double order!
Again, comes down to fundamentals.
Oh! My goodness! Sorrentine hit that one from the parking lot.
Watford for the win!
Yes! Yes!
Trip to the Sweet 16. Taney's got it. Rises up. The shot.
And it's good! It's good! From the corner! And it's over! Gonzaga! The slipper still fits! Ha ha! College basketball!
What is going on? Huff is grabbing a drink. It's my bad. I started a little early, but he'll be back. There he is.
What up? What up?
What's up, brother?
What up?
How we doing,
I don't
fans?
know. Tonight's fucking terrible. I don't know what the fuck to do.
I got some work done tonight. Ran some errands. Just kind of got a glimpse of what this summer is going to look like for us, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah, baseball, golf. Javon, can't fade Nova this year. Hey, new coach bump.
Javon, let's go. Shout out Javon. Javon is an OG. Javon watched us when we were 2 views, 1 view. Man's legit. Appreciate you, Javon. I'll have to link up again for March Madness. Yeah, 0-0 tonight. Let's go, Helms. Way to go.
Yeah, dude, we're undefeated.
Yeah, good night,
I will
dude.
say, I did play Cubs first 5 plus the half at 5 a.m. I will be up watching this game.
You ain't waking up. You're sleeping in. Not a chance in hell you're getting up.
Dude, yeah, we're going to
– Really?
I'm going to get – yeah, you're not waking up for that.
– news button, yeah.
I'll wake. That's why I said 2. I might set a 3rd.
You're going to wake up at like 8 and be like, fuck, can't believe I overslept.
No shot.
But yeah, good night tonight. I mean, we're going to go over the picks for all of that are available right now, NIT and NCAA. And then tomorrow we'll talk about the CBI and some futures that we placed for the actual March Madness tournament. And then we'll do the crown stuff probably at some point next week before it kicks off closer towards the end of the season.
Absolutely. Side note for us, I deleted some of these banners because I thought they were old, and then I realized they were for the games. So whoever made it, I don't know what ones I deleted, but everything from Yale on is still here. I think I deleted like 3.
I made them all yesterday when they came out.
That's my bad. So yeah, I don't know which ones you had, but if you want to go back,
I had every single one of them.
Really appreciate it. Was it just the tournament games?
Yeah, all 34
with
of
the
well, there's still some there. Did you make some?
No. I didn't delete them all. I started just clicking delete, and I was like, oh wait a minute, these look like.
I will say it was 32 actually, because there's 4 of them that haven't been out yet because of the playing games. So there's still only 32.
Gotcha.
Well, let's just delete them all because a lot of these lines are all stale, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll adjust them as we go.
I just deleted them. Sorry, I agreed with the delete, Control-Alt-Delete there. But let's just do. So we did have a show last night for Selection Sunday. That was fun. You kind of just saw our live reactions. Got off, after a night of sleep. Before we jump into the games, any takes there that you guys want to maybe discuss real quick? Obviously the
UNC shouldn't fucking be in. That's my take. Fuck UNC.
Yeah.
Did you see old Bubba got $104,000 bonus too for his team getting into the tournament?
I said this on TCE, but I think it's definitely bittersweet for IU, but also at the same time, it's ready for a closed chapter. So I think it's a mixed bag of feelings there. But West Virginia totally got hosed. So whatever they're doing politically and going after the NCAA, I'm in full support of.
I saw them fucking putting fucking I'm trying to get legislation and shit involved. I'm like, okay.
Hey, the mayor or the mayor or the governor or whoever it was, he was spitting ball.
Yeah, he was not happy. Speaking of IU and West Virginia, did you hear the rumors going around their house?
I did. It's all noise.
That'd be a great hire, in my opinion, personally.
I think you guys should go get Tobin.
That was another Tobin Anderson fired, and the Iona's like, yeah, we don't want this to be the face of the program. We realize how much money we need to pour into this now. That's a money game. So they said
how much money they fucking plan on putting in there.
That's basically what they said. And I say we keep with some continuity. We get through all the 32 tournament games, other than maybe the ones that aren't available, like the play-in game, but we can give a take during our play-in game pick. And then we do the NIT last. I don't think we mix in the NIT by any means.
All right, do it.
Let's just start there.
Good for me.
All right.
Works for me. All right, we'll kick her off. St. Francis, the Red Flash versus the what are they? The Hornets or something?
Yep, Hornets.
Yeah,
Hornets. Yep.
The Hornets.
Red Flash Hornets. Now this is a game of athletes for staples, but I got to ride with my Red Flash. They've been treating me real well. 4.5 is a lot of points. Neutral courts, St. Francis has some issues size-wise and whatnot, but that'll kind of be offset because Alabama State doesn't have size either. So I think the glass will kind of be 50-50 here. St. Francis 16-17 record versus what's Alabama State's 19-15, so not much of a difference there. But still, regardless, I'm going to trust my boys here, the Red Flash. The guy got on their side, is a Catholic school or whatever the hell they are. It's Lent, treating them good. Let's go St. Francis. I'll take the 4.5. I feel like it's kind of gotten a little out of hand. What did it open at? Like 2.5 or something?
2.5.
I believe so.
2.5. So we're getting a whole extra possession here. St. Francis, not terrible. They can shoot free throws at least too. Alabama State will send them there, but turnover issues could also be an issue here. They don't force them, but Alabama State does, and Alabama State doesn't turn it over. So that might be an issue here on this court, some runouts. But I'm just gonna, I'm gonna ride with my boys. Treated me nice, won some money off them. I should have bet the conference future. I did not, so I left a little bit of money out there. But getting 4.5 with them at this point, I think that's a nice number to grab. Keep it within 2 possessions. As again, Alabama State sub 70% free throw, so if they get sent to the line late to try to ice it. Could be going 1 for 2, something like that. Miss the front end, so I'll take the Red Flash here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go with St. Francis. The only thing that alarms me is that Alabama State's kind of been in this position before. They've been to Dayton once or twice, which is telling. I mean, maybe not the exact kids have been there, but the program has. There's just some familiarity to it. But I like St. Francis. They got a good little swagger to them, and I think that I'm going to go with the more kind of drown you out team versus the offensive team. I am worried that Alabama State just kind of is maybe a better overall team, but I think St. Francis style of play could mess with Alabama State, slow them down even a little bit. So I'm going to go with St. Francis catching the points, and I will be looking at a possible under there as well too. But we'll see. I don't know about the under, but I will be betting St. Francis plus 4.5.
Yeah, I'll battle you guys on this one. I'll take the athletes. I'll take the tourney experience on a team like Alabama State. I think that they are I wouldn't say significantly better team, but I think they are a lot better team than St. Francis. I know, you can throw it out the window here in terms of who's the better team. It is March, but I think that the turnover percentage rate for St. Francis is pretty alarming, especially when they play it at such a slow pace. Regardless, so now you're getting a team that likes to turn people over in Alabama State against the team that likes to play slow but does turn the ball over, and they definitely don't really shoot at the highest of clips either. So their offensive efficiency is probably not going to be that great. So I don't mind that under there. I liked it better at the 2.5 number, obviously, but I'll still lay it here with Alabama State minus the 4.5. The only thing that worries me is the fact that Alabama State is like 69% from the free throw line. So it feels like, they could be around that 4 or 5 point number, maybe even like 6 or 7, kind of sell it at the end and get backdoor covered just by missing a couple front ends. But I'll be on Alabama State here, minus the 4.5.
All right. You're stinging. We are lightning and thunder. What are they? The storm, right?
The red flash.
Red flash, yeah.
Next, UNC, San Diego State. I bet North Carolina -4 already. This team, everybody does not want them in. I saw they're having travel issues today. They're playing whatever. They got delayed. Everybody already hates this team already. I feel like San Diego State's got that name brand here. That obviously North Carolina does, but San Diego State, it wasn't that long ago they made a tournament run. And they're always a solid program. So I think a lot of people just despise North Carolina and for the committee putting them in here. And I think they're going to get it done. I'm going to buy into this bullshit. Got a new lease on life here. Shouldn't have been in, should have been dead. Your season should be over because we know they were never going to accept an NIT bid or anything like that. So I think they're laying a decent number versus a good San Diego State team for a reason here. I'll take I laid the 4 with UNC last night.
Oh yeah, I think it's probably the North Carolina spot here. I think that they're probably going to advance. I typically like to play the better defensive team here, but I think North Carolina's offense is going to be able to kind of put a lot more pressure on San Diego State's offense to score, kind of keep up with them. And I'm not quite sure that San Diego State has shown that they can do that on the offensive end. I will lay it with the Tar Heels, unfortunately. I don't want to. They shouldn't be in, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to do some damage potentially. So I'll lay it with the 4.5. My play probably, my bet would be I'm going to probably parlay Alabama State with North Carolina, and that'll be kind of my first play-in parlay that I do tomorrow, and then probably rock with both first half on. Yeah, I'll probably do. I'll for sure do the first game first half under. Not sure if I'll do this one, but I'm probably going to parlay them, just money line parlay for these two. I think both of them. Now it's at a 4.5 number on each. I probably should have taken it at 2.5 when they were both at 2.5, but now it's up to 4.5. I'll just money line parlay both of them. I think they both win.
Yeah.
Trevor, I do have to disagree with you on what your take was, though. There's no chance in hell people are betting San Diego State over North Carolina.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it's more of like an emotional thing, kind of like Westberg is saying here. He's picking against them emotionally. Like, I don't blame you. I don't want them to win.
I mean, I think there's a select group of people that are betting San Diego State maybe has that vendetta, but it is North Carolina. They are actually name brand. I mean, it's just like the public that comes in on March is much different, and I do think North Carolina is bet, and they have. It opened at 3.5, I believe, and
2.5.
2.5. It's already up to 4. I mean, I definitely think the books are loaded with North Carolina tickets, which does kind of worry me. especially how San Diego State's defense plays. But I think North Carolina will come in with a vengeance with you guys. So I will lay the points with North Carolina. I liked this last night, so I bet that, and it was one of my first bets, unfortunately, and I don't love it, especially if that means Bubba Cunningham's making any more cheddar. So, but yeah, I think to your point, Elliot, the offensive stuff can still get in between San Diego State, and I'm going to take a stab here. I think San Diego State plays good for the first 20 minutes of the game, but to your guys' point, they might get tired out a little bit. So I will take a little wire-to-wire play, but not wire-to-wire. San Diego State first half money line with North Carolina money line winning the game. I'm curious. I'll look up the odds on that, but I've already bet North Carolina on the spread, so I will double down and get kind of weird with the units.
Yeah, I also think, another point, you bring up great defense, but as we've seen, great offense can definitely beat great defense. And RJ Davis's capability of just shot making, no matter how good the defense is, he can still make shots. I think that goes a long way here. You can play as good a defense as you can, but it's going to be to the point where just like they always say the D back there in football, like he can play the best D, but a better ball and a better catch will always beat the defense. So I think that RJ Davis is going to be able to kind of get what he wants. Hand in his face, regardless, he still makes it.
True. And yeah, we just I think we talked last night about this. Completely true. They should not be in whatsoever. It's absolutely false. Bubba Cunningham got a $104,000 bonus payout for getting North Carolina in the tournament too there, Kyle. So definitely no collusion, no nothing going on, nothing fishy. The committee actually believed that North Carolina deserved to be in, if you can believe that.
Yeah, and the bullshit about it too is now it's going to be if they do win and they win this game and they end up winning the first round, then everybody's going to say, yeah, see, look, they should have been in. No, that's not the point. It's not about what the fuck. It's not about getting in. If you get in, it's kudos to them for getting past the first round if they do. But just because they get past the first round doesn't mean that they should have been in.
Yeah, and I agree with Helms. Xavier shouldn't have got in either.
It doesn't even matter about. They're red hot and what? They have one Q1 win. One. They're 1-13 in Q1 wins.
Boise is 3-5.
They were red hot. They're not. What happened about what about Texas A&M, Kyle? 2 years ago when they were red hot to end the season, went to the SEC championship and didn't get in after they lost the SEC championship after they rattled off 9 wins in a row, something like that.
Yeah, Boise 3-5 in quad 1 wins and made the conference tournament championship game and got left out too. I hate IU, but IU definitely got fucked here too. I think a little more than WVU, but
you do. I think West Virginia had the better resume. Technically,
those wins, I will say, it doesn't. They won the Gonzaga and Arizona game with DeVries, but they also went to the Fog and beat a healthy Iowa State team without
it. IU wins one game on that neutral before Providence alone in the early season. If they beat Louisville or beat Gonzaga, they're probably in. Unfortunately, but
you guys beat Michigan State at Sparty.
I know. But that's really their true win. They did beat Purdue at home, but I don't know. It's just they should have. If they beat UCLA, they're probably in. A lot of just close games. Time to move on though. Chapter's closed, so it is what it is. North Carolina and the hotel. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's 5 minutes from my house. I should have been over there with the high security and going over to Bubba there. So, well, let's Tar Heel it up, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. And if they lose, it's just it's gonna be it'll be a bet that I'm like, yeah, whatever. At least I fucking lost.
And thanks Helms on the plus 420 there on that spread. I found plus 440 on FanDuel.
For what?
For that first half full game bet.
Oh, nice.
And I'm glad I bet North Carolina now. Or earlier because it's up to 5.5 now.
North Carolina's 5.5.
Yep.
What?
On some places they're 5.5.
Good God. Yeah, I see 5 now on BetUS.
This is
Kyle,
an Elliot.
Kyle,
This
you're
is
not.
Damn.
This is a get up when I'm like, all right, Elliot, you can take this.
Kyle, you're not fading. He's thinking we're fading North Carolina. We're all three of us are on North Carolina minus 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fade us and take San Diego State.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we're on North Carolina. I don't fucking want to. And the best part about these bets is, hell, if I lose, North Carolina lost. There you go.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, as long as they don't fucking win by 2 or 3, but regardless.
Yeah,
Mountain American.
I'm gonna lay it with American. I might just play the money line. They play in so many damn close games. I think they'll have the best player on the floor, Matt Rogers. I think the Patriot League is a tougher league than the MAAC. I know that the MAAC's got Mary Mack and Marist and Quinnipiac, but I think American has been tested more. I don't like laying the number. As I've said, they've kind of been able to squeak out and eke out wins here by 1, 2, things like that. So I will probably just go with American on the money line here and trust kind of Matt Rogers to take over when he's needed to score. I don't think there's going to be anybody on Mount St. Mary's that will be able to guard them one-on-one. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what their game plan is. They do have a solid defense. It'll just be interesting to see what the game plan is that they implement to kind of stop him and kind of stop the shooters that they have around him and Elijah Stevens and Colin Smalls. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'll go with American, and it'll just be American money line for me. And I will play the first half under in this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll take American. They've got a deeper bench. They rebound. They're physical. Mount did beat Bucknell in non-con, so I think that's their best win. But American beat G-Dub. It took overtime, but they still got it done here, and they've been playing damn good basketball. I know Mount has too, but I'm going to trust the team that had a better non-con. They traveled. And a team that, can rebound, doesn't turn it over. They force a lot of turnovers too. They were number 1 in the conference overall this season. They're 140th, but they're still forced almost 18%. But you got Mount, who's 355th in the country in turnover percentage. So I think that's gonna end up biting them in the ass here against a team that can force turnovers and is physical, can shoot free throws, gets to the line. So I'll take American here with you. I'll lay the 2.5.
Yeah, the other thing with that you mentioned, a good point to kind of go along with that is if they do turn it over at a high rate, they're going to lose more than just one possession because American plays some of the slowest ball in the nation. Sure. So they're going to get their full 30 seconds out of the clock every single time. So if, Mount St. Mary's turns it over a good amount of times, their amount of possessions that they're going to have are going to be way down than what they're used to.
I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for your right, fight for your life. Boo! Hulk Hogan's been getting booed recently, and I'm going to boo American because give me Mount St. Mary's. They've been in the first 4 many times. They love Dayton. This Mount St. Mary's team defensively, I think, can hang with American. I am worried about their turnover percentage. They turn the ball over a lot. American, I think, can get out in transition and and capitalize maybe on the short spread. This is a stab, but I think Mount St. Mary's can hang and maybe win this game outright. I love the way they played against Bucknell, like you mentioned, Trevor. And Americans split with Bucknell. Americans no joke. But I personally think the 2.5 is a little telling. I think we see a very close game, and Mount St. Mary's can hang and get the job done. So give me the Mount on the short spread.
All right.
Sorry.
You had me in the first half.
Ooh, yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Absolute commie.
Yeah.
Xavier's laying 2.5. It's up to 3.5. I saw versus Texas here. It's in Ohio. I think it was like 20 minutes from where they play. So I mean, they're gonna have a crowd.
It's a little further than 20 minutes.
I forget. I know it was close. I forget what I saw today.
It's a little further. It's like an hour.
Yeah, well,
ish. Like 50 minutes, 40 minutes. Just confirmed 50 minutes. I mean, I'm going to have to go with Xavier here. I like laying the points with Xavier. I think Xavier's a very hot team. I like the way that they ended the season. I know Texas got some wins. But Xavier feels like that random team that can make a run out of one of these first 4 teams. I think North Carolina is in a world of hurt against Iowa State if Iowa State gets by Lipscomb, or is it Texas Tech? Sorry, or no, it's Iowa State. Sorry.
Yeah, it'd be Iowa State.
Yeah, sorry. I was second guessing myself there, but I think I even see a 2.5 number for Xavier as well too. I think it's going to be a very close game. But for some reason, to me, this is a line that's telling. I think Xavier being favored is in their favor. I think their defense can hang with Texas, and they got a lot of height that can match with Texas's game as well too. And I like the way they can go inside and out constantly, and I think we see a rebounding advantage here just a tad bit too. So yeah, give me and Xavier gets to the line a lot as well. Xavier gets to the line a lot. Texas fouls a lot, and Xavier shoots free throws pretty well. I mean, Texas is okay free throw shooting team also, but Xavier is one of the top teams on average in the country. So yeah, give me the Musketeers in Ohio against these Longhorns. So I will go horn down here, and I will look at the under as well too.
Yeah, I will. Goddamn, I'll be on Xavier too. Kind of kicking myself. I didn't grab it last night. I honestly thought it would flip to Texas being a favorite, but woke up this morning like -2.5, -3 or something. So that one backfired. But I'll still be on Xavier. Close proximity to home. Texas traveling. I don't think Texas is good. I know. I don't know what the comments are saying, but I know Kyle's saying Rodney Terry with a plus. You got to back him. At this point, the line's getting bigger. I don't hate it, but at the same time, I think you got Sean Miller versus Rodney Terry, and you got a Xavier that's basically going to have a home game. And I believe, didn't they play in Dayton this year too? Or was that?
I mean,
recently. Xavier.
And to my point on the under, I know I just briefly mentioned that, but
no,
a lot of nerves playing in this game. Goes into the NCAA tournament game. A lot of people want to bet overs, but I think the under is definitely in play here. With just even though teams kind of both play fast on offense, defensively they slow teams down, and I think the defense brings that number home.
Yeah, I'll agree. And Xavier did not play Dayton. They played Cincinnati. The other.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Open up the door.
You gotta sing it so we don't get copyright notice.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah,
you gotta sing it. You gotta have a creativity. You gotta have a creativity to it. A little creative control there for it. But yeah, let's go.
I'm going with X here.
Not enough. Just looking out for us there.
Yeah, no,
I forgot we can get copyright.
I didn't even think about that.
People.
But no, I'm gonna be on Xavier here. I think that they were playing really good down the stretch. They just lost that first game of the Big East tournament to Marquette by 2. Texas, I know they have been playing better. I've just not been really impressed with them all year. They kind of got their 2 wins that they needed to kind of solidify their spot, I guess, in the tournament here. Both of these 2 teams, I feel like were right there on the border of not getting in. I think Xavier there in Dayton, they're going to have the home crowd. You're going to see the coaching difference between Rodney Terry and Sean Miller. I'll always back Sean Miller against Rodney Terry. So I will lay the 3.5. The fact they're shooting almost 80% from the free throw line, the 3.5 doesn't really scare me. 3.5. So yeah, I'll be on Xavier here, minus 3.5. I will be on them, just foreshadow, if they do win, I will be on them to upset Illinois as well there in Milwaukee in the first round. If Texas wins, I probably will end up taking Illinois. But if Xavier wins, I will be on Xavier.
Yeah, whoever wins this is upsetting Illinois for sure. For sure. Now getting into Thursday, starting the actual tourney. 11:30, whenever the hell this is, at the bar, you got your drinks, you're getting ready to roll. Creighton Louisville starts us off. Louisville's laying 2.5. Who wants to kick this one off?
I was sending the link to somebody. Man, we got a team that I've gone back and forth on this one. Louisville kind of pissed off about their seeding a little bit. Creighton kind of probably is too. I know they've been riding high to end the season, and did very well in Big East play. So these 2 teams, dangerous 8-9 matchup, and the fact that it opens the tournament, I can't be more excited about it. I do think, though, we see an issue with Creighton down low. I know Louisville's got height that can hang with it, and play good defense. We see both good defensive teams here. But I think Creighton, just how good they are on the inside of the perimeter, will be a problem here as well too. And Creighton doesn't foul much. They don't really force Louisville to the line, which is a strong component for Louisville's game. Louisville comes in playing hot and gets a little extra fouls. So yeah, let's just hope that that both teams do live and die by the 3 just a tad bit outside of Louisville getting to the free throw line. But I do think with Creighton still being able to get inside, get on the perimeter just a little bit, it'll be a problem here. And the lack of that they don't foul, they get it done. So I'll take McDermott here on this spot. I like Pat Kelsey. I love what this Louisville team's done. I think it's somewhat of a travesty. These 2 teams are playing each other in the 8-9, but it's just kind of how the lay of the land is right now. So, but give me the Blue Jays on the short spread. I think they get it done. Maybe even outright as well too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Louisville here. Basically a home game for them. They played Duke pretty tight. I know Duke was without Flag and Malik Brown, but they still played them tight. They probably should have covered that game instead of getting blown out in the second half wise, and not covering that. But I just like this Louisville team. I think they've been playing really good. I think Pat Kelsey and them are pissed off that they're an 8 seed and they're going to come out here fired up, and it's basically a home game. Excuse me, Jesus Christ, a home game for them down there in Lexington. I know record-wise they haven't had much success in Rupp Arena, but guess what? They don't have to play Kentucky. It's a different blue team, so maybe the colors shake them a little bit, but I don't think so. I'll take Louisville here. Playing better in my opinion. Creighton very soft. Again, Pat Kelsey and company, pissed off that they got screwed and got an 8 seed. They should have been higher. So I think they come out with a purpose here and beat Creighton. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think it'll come down to the last media timeout or so, and Louisville pulls away, gets stops, and makes some free throws and wins this game by 6 or 7. So I will take Louisville.
Is Greg McDermott going on radio shows and crying about their seating?
I don't know. I haven't been following him.
No, he's probably watching game tape on Louisville and figuring stuff out. Get in the room, Pat.
Yeah, dude, they're fine. Is that what Kelsey's doing?
He just went on one local radio show.
Yeah.
Talked about it.
Dougie G goes on radio every day, and he won 3 games this year. So Kelsey can win one.
Good sample size.
Yeah, I'll be on Creighton here. I honestly think Duke kind of got whatever they wanted down low in that game against Louisville. They're in the championship game. I mean, you saw Patrick Ngongba kind of do whatever he wanted whenever they gave him a chance down low. And I think it's going to be similar here. I think with Kalkbrenner, there's not really anybody on Louisville's team that's going to be able to stop him. I mean, you're trying to see maybe, I guess, James Scott, but you get after him, you have Noah Waterman, and that dude literally is a 7-footer who is allergic to the paint. All he wants to do is stay outside the 3-point line and shoot threes. So I don't think he's going to have any type of success guarding Kalkbrenner as soon as James Scott gets into foul trouble here. So I will be on Creighton plus the 2.5. I actually like the over 145 in this game. I think both teams will be able to score it pretty decent. So I feel like both of them will be ready to go. And so for that fact, I'll be on my bet will be Creighton, my bet will be the over 145.5. But I will pick Creighton plus the 2.5 though. I just think Kalkbrenner is going to be too much for Louisville inside.
Hey, Fair Dick, shortest team in the country, beat Purdue as a 16 seed. I'm not too worried about that. But if Scott tells getting foul trouble and Waterman, he doesn't want to send the paint, he's going out. It's going to have Kalkbrenner following him, opening up the paint, or it'll just be wide open shots for Waterman. So.
Outside of Duke and Louisville, outside of Duke and Clemson, who has Louisville played since January even? SMU? January 21st?
Hey, they were looking all right for a bit there.
The teams they ended the year with are atrocious. The Big East still has some players as much as the ACC does. Louisville played North Carolina January 1st, only time they only played Duke in the regular season December 8th. They're up, same thing, first half, blow it in the second half. SMU, Wake Forest.
Well, I mean, Creighton gave up a shit ton of points in transition to St. John's here. Louisville forces turnovers. They like to get out in transition too. Granted, they're not as physical.
There's a comment in there that says Chucky will be all over Stephen Ashworth. I agree with that, but I think that's why I'm leaning to the inside game more so with Creighton.
That's why I also like the over 145.5 for Trevor's point is Scott does get into foul trouble. Okay, Noah Waterman's going to be probably hitting some threes from the outside, but then Kalkbrenner's are going to feast on the inside. So I mean, it's going to be points in that regard. I think personally, so that's why. That would be my bet is the over 145.5. I know it's kind of scary first game over of the tournament, but I don't mind it with these two teams that are pretty good offensively.
Creighton also lost their assistant coach. I'm not sure if he's still with the team or if he's moving on, but he got hired by Murray State, so I'm not sure if he's hanging around yet or not. What's his name? McDermott already did a video. But he's gonna miss him and all this other shit. So it sounds like he probably won't be with the team. So, that's just one cog in the wheel that they'll be down. So I like Louisville here. Home game, get it done. Let's go Louisville. High Point Purdue. This opened 10.5, 10, I believe.
It did.
Come down. Yeah.
Now it's juiced to the 8.5, I think.
High Point's a very public dog.
That's what I've been back and forth on. I know last night I liked the matchup, saw the line. I'm like, that feels like a lot of points. Like they want you to kind of take High Point and get it bet. I know it's taking money and it's coming down. High
I
Point's a good
mean,
team. I'm not saying they're not, but they don't. They first ever tournament. They have no tournament experience. Purdue, ended the season horribly. Now they're laying 8.5 to a perceived, solid good team to High Point with guard play and size, but I just don't know if they can really get inside and stop them. I know like their defense isn't great, their offense is good, but I think Purdue's been stewing a little bit, and they're going to have it figured out. I feel like it's kind of a bait to take the points with High Point. I think they want you to. That's why they offered so much, and you can see it just got smashed and it's come down. So I think I'm going to let people keep betting this, and I'm going to take Purdue.
It's 7.5 on DK or
Moving
right now.
Love it.
So it's still coming
Let that
down.
puppy come down.
what are you doing, Elliot?
I'll be on High Point plus the 7.5. I guess I'll say plus the 8.5. I'm seeing more 8.5 than 7.5 right now. But my bet is going to be the Purdue team total over 80.5. That's going to be my bet in this game. I like Purdue putting up some points here. Super efficient offense. I know they're pretty slow on offense, but the fact that High Point's defense is just not very good. They just look to try to outscore you. So I think that High Point, yes, will have some success there on offense, but I think Purdue does as well. And then if you look at, if it's a close game within that, 5 to 10 point range there with 1:30 left, High Point's going to be shooting threes and fouling, putting Purdue to the line, just trying to play the game out. First game of the tournament. So I like Purdue team total over 80.5, 81.5. I'm seeing right now, so that'll be my bet in the game. But I will pick High Point plus 8.5. In my bracket, I'll have Purdue advancing though. I don't like the outright upset for High Point.
I will be betting High Point. I will ride into the public dog of March, and unfortunately, most public dogs don't bite. So I am a little nervous about all the money that High Point's getting. But this is Purdue in March. Last time they were a 4 seed, they lost to North Texas outright at a 13. Pretty sure on this day last year, or not last year, 2017, 2016, something like that.
Mean Green was a minute ago.
But I can, it was the last time they were a 4-13 seed, though. So get my Mana Library card out and call it how it is. 413 is the code. High Point, they don't always depend on the three. They have both an inside game. They both have an outside game. I think we're able to see some exploitation here. And with Purdue falling off just and how bad they played towards the end of the year, I am a little worried about that. I may sprinkle the money line, but I'll just take the spread for now and think that High Point can hang in it. Just sometimes with these spreads, the foul game is a little worrisome. But I think with High Point being in an interior, they beat North Texas at home, which is a good defensive team. They beat UAB at home. They don't really have any. This is the best team that they're going to see or that they've seen all season. So that is a little daunting. But I think they're coming in hot, playing good. First time in the tournament. You saw how lit their little selection Sunday party was. I expect some fans to travel to Rhode Island for this. I'm not saying Purdue fans won't, but 12:40 game, kids college spring break probably. I have to look. I'm gonna have to look and see about that too. See how many kids are going to that. If it's college spring break, going to Rhode Island maybe a little bit. So we'll see.
Rhode Island for spring break.
First round game, man.
Oh, I suppose for that. Okay. I was just thinking, I was like, what the fuck are they going to do in Rhode Island? But yeah, that makes sense. Just get wasted.
Watch the game, bozo. That's good.
Speaking of that, I did see, by the way, I know we're not talking NIT right now. 2 of Bradley's senior players opted out for the game already for the NIT.
For spring break, too, as well.
Yeah, it started Saturday. Their spring break did. So yeah, just a heads up for that Bradley line. It will be without two guys. Montana, Wisconsin.
Trevor.
Now this is
Take it
tough.
away, Trevor.
Played the last game in the tournament, or in the conference
Go
tournaments.
Lucky.
Travel,
Play
we
it.
get fucked. We have to go play an early game. We have to go to Colorado or Denver, play a Montana team that is used to elevation. Not a huge fan of that, but the one thing I was a fan of was looking at their non-con here when they played some of these big dogs here, or big time schools. Oregon busted their ass by 31. Tennessee busted their ass by 35. Utah State 12 points. St. Thomas beat them by 7. San Francisco was a 4-point game, so I'll give them that. But Northern Iowa busted their ass by 28. So I mean, like, they do have a history of just getting absolutely blown out. I feel like this total little high. Kind of feels like Wisconsin's going to get their offense. It's not like a lower, like it's not in the 140s. It's up in the 150s. I think Wisconsin, shot horribly in the against Michigan there. Obviously, everybody knows that. But that was their 4th game in 4 days. They just beat Michigan State. Big emotional game, and then they came out flat and never recovered against Michigan here. I think this is a nice spot for Wisconsin to blow them out and get it done. One way or another, I'll probably be on Wisconsin. I might just take the team total. But Montana has shown to just get mollywopped by the Power 5 schools and these bigger schools overall this season. So I think I'll be on Wisconsin one way or another. I bet every single game, but I don't know if I want the spread or the team total because I don't think they can shoot as bad. I think they're going to be itching to get back out there to get their groove back, and I think Montana is a good spot for them to get it done. Now the location and everything, time, not a huge fan of, but you play where you play who you play, and you play where you play. So I will I'll be on Wisconsin one way or another here. Just not sure how.
Yeah, I'll be on the Grizzlies.
I feel like a lot of people are.
Looks like I'm seeing the 17.5. It was 18.5, so people kind of bet it down from 18.5 down to, I think it got all the way down to 16.5. Now it looks like it's bouncing back up to 17.5. I just don't like the spot for Wisconsin here that you explained. I just think it's a terrible spot for them. Now they got to play in elevation, something that Montana is used to. I think that, yes, I like your team total angle for Wisconsin because Montana's defense isn't very great. They like to kind of get into track meets. But I think they can put up points as well. So I like taking the 17.5. Maybe this is a 20-25 point game down the stretch, but then we get a little backdoor, and Wisconsin only wins by 14-15. Once they've kind of coasted out to a 20-point lead. So, yeah, I'll be on Montana plus the 17.5 is what I'm seeing now. And that will be a bet for me.
Yeah. Hey.
Montana.
I will do this, though. I'm going to take first half. I think Wisconsin comes out sluggish a little bit. But I think Montana can keep up. I'm not saying – I said this last night. Wisconsin will be able to shoot the ball after they just shot awful Sunday. That was just awful, awful basketball. Tanji 1 for 11. What were they, 3 for whatever from 3, Trevor?
I think both teams combined were 7 of 38 for layups, shots at the rim. Like it was putrid. It was disgusting.
I do think Montana's defense is a massive problem, but offensively, they can hang, and I think they'll be able to hang in the first half. We saw Wisconsin early in the season. First half, Montana State hung around. First half, UT Rio Grande Valley hung around. Kind of played with their food in the first half, and then they turn it on. So I don't know if I'm going to bet full game, but I definitely am going to bet first half. Do I want to double down on the fandom? I mean, sorry for the brag, but we were almost at 70 units on the season. Let's start playing with some food and start playing with my food and get a little risky here and doubling down. So I will definitely most likely take Montana first half. We'll see about full game.
Yeah. And Jen brings up a good point here. Do they just conserve energy if they're winning? Yeah. I mean, if they're up 25 or whatever, the final 8, under the 8 media timeout, I think they might do that. But I think this is just a spot where they just come out and drill them. Huff could be right. They have shown where they can start really slow and find themselves in a game, but they do, second half they do play better. And, they can't shoot as bad as they did against Michigan, and Montana's not going to have the size or physicality that Michigan possessed. Honestly, I'm probably going to play the team total over instead of laying it with them, just because I could see maybe they just come out not as focused defensively. They're more focused on the offense. Getting it back going because they're going to need it. But I still think Wisconsin probably does cover this in the end, but I feel better with the team total.
85.5.
I don't hate it. Montana gets mollywopped, but this is the other problem with it is Badgers could be up 30 with 74 points and 5 minutes to go, and then just kind of drag ass and finish the game with 79 points, 80 points, and win by 25. It's entirely possible. So I'm kind of just torn here. I do have to bet every game. It's a tournament, so we'll find a way to get there. But if I had to pick some, I'd go team total over, personally. Shocker Kyle says Montana, free money on the board. One
so
possession
you're playing,
game.
You're playing straight first half money line, right?
No. Just the spread first half, and then I'm thinking about doubling down full game. For all the haters, we got some units to play with, so let's go. Let's ride it out. Let's get crazy with it. Doubling down on the Grizzlies. Double down on the fandom. I'm a huge Grizzlies.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. Do what you do. It's your donations. FanDuel loves donations. Fading the Badgers. They love it.
What happened fading the Badgers on Sunday?
It worked out because I bet. I think was I the only one that bet Michigan? I think. Correct.
Yeah, I didn't have anything in that game.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So
they should have covered that game.
Oh,
they should have fucking won. They were up 9. Couldn't hit fucking layups. Couldn't hit a shot. John Tanji, 1 of 11 or whatever the fuck he was. So be it. They played that bad and they had a 9-point lead. Midway through the second half. So even if they half-assed it, I think they can find a way to get themselves to 80 points in a cover here. So I'll figure out a way to bet them. But Edwardsville, hey, who's Indiana playing round 1?
I'm not here crying about it with tiny violins. I'm here ready to move on, looking forward.
Edwardsville, Houston. I'm probably going to – here's something I'm interested in. These conference tournament winners, do we just fade them in the first round?
I'm not
they're laying ridiculous numbers, and they're all playing 16 seeds. Do they really give a shit?
SIU Edwardsville is a conference. SIU Edwardsville is a conference tournament winner.
That you know what I'm saying. The Power Fives, the big ones, the Big 12s, the SEC, them guys. The mid majors have had more time to relax and recover. I get Houston can easily win this game by 50, but how motivated are they? It's fucking Edwardsville, and they've got
it's Kelvin Sampson. They're motivated every time they play.
I get it, but 30 points away from home.
SIU Edwardsville lost to Green Bay by almost 30.
Dude, okay. SIU Edwardsville can't score. I like this right here. Jen, SIU Edwardsville, team total under 40.
So that's an alt line because it's 49, 50 and a half places as well too.
SIU Edwardsville can't score.
No way they score 50.
That was my angle. I was just bringing up a question about fading them potentially. Could this be a 40 Could this be a 46-73 game?
No,
You don't think so? No way.
it's going to be like 40 to 80.
That's somewhere around the number there by the
It's gonna be
total.
like- It's going to be like 40 to 80.
I could see that. I just kind of question motivation a little bit. No, is Juwan Roberts going to play? I mean,
He'll play. He might not play his
He'll
minutes though, but he'll play. They'll get him back in the rotation. They're not gonna hold him out again and then just expect him to play 2 days later. He's gonna play.
Did Houston just stay in Kansas the whole time too? Should have just.
that's a very good possibility.
Probably.
No, they went home. But
They
yeah,
did.
probably.
You never
Let's
know.
go
It's
take
only
a
a
gander
short
at the
trip
Twitter.
down on the bus.
Go take a Twitter or a gander.
I mean, I guess it was. Well, yeah. Houston won on Saturday, so they went home Saturday night because they were there.
Yeah,
for Sunday.
they went home. They went home. They're familiar with Kansas City, so I will not fade Houston. I don't know if I'll lay the points, but definitely going to take the SIU team total under in the first half and maybe full game as well too. I've been sticking to how many times have we bet Houston's opponents team total first half this year? I'm going to stick with it. And I think Houston just comes out with a vengeance and goes up big right away. So I will take the Cougars and yeah, Sampson will motivate them. No problem at all. And I will see if I end up laying the number, but most likely not.
Huff, you know what that team total first half is?
20.
This looks like a hotel conference room. This looks like a hotel conference room.
Yeah, but at the Houston Marriott, I don't know.
I don't know. It looks like a conference.
We need an image search. Image search.
That looks like a hotel conference room to me. But regardless, it would be Edwardsville team total under. That was my going to be my play. I just brought up a question about potential motivation in these teams that have ridiculous numbers.
You know what the first half total is? Team total is?
Yeah, I said
21 and a half.
21 and a half. Do I feel more obligated to take the under 49 and a half then?
I feel better taking the under 48. Yeah, I feel better taking the under 48 and a half.
But who wants to take an under 21 and a half though? Nobody.
That is, and it's juice to the under.
Well, yeah, they could. Houston's held conference opponents under 20 points. They could do it to Edwardsville.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's an 80-40 game. The full game under is live as well too. So
yeah, I
could
already
just split up a half unit on each.
And I mean the full game team total, first half team total, and possibly potentially laying the points as well too.
Yep. I'm already on. I already bet Houston. This is when I bet last night when it opened at 27.5. I bet it. I'm guessing it's going to be up to 30, 31 maybe, probably right before tip. It'll keep going up. I think it's right now it's at 29.5. But yeah, so I'm on Houston minus 27.5. I will also be on at least one of the team totals. I feel better about the full game, just the 48.5, because if they do come out and kind of put up in the mid-20s, Kelvin's not going to be very happy with that performance. So yeah, so I would, but I'll probably end up betting both first half and full game team total for SIU under.
Yeah, it'd be team total under for me. But if I had to pick a side, it would be Edwardsville. I'd dive into that nasty fucking shit.
Dude,
I think they lose by like 26, 27.
Don't bet it. Houston, look at the history. These last games, Houston fucks up these teams in the first round of tournaments.
No, I'm not saying they don't. It's just shut the fuck up, cat. God damn it, shut up.
Wait, and the cat's barking because she's in the Cougar family. She's in the Cougar family. Cougars are cats.
Shut the fuck up, cat. God damn that fucking thing. You're fucking 18 years old. Go die already.
Oh my God.
I'm definitely taking the Cougars now.
But guess what? They're both Cougars. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, whatever. It may sound morbid, but that cat's gonna outlive me.
They're both the Cougars.
Yeah, I mean they held Jackson State to 40. That was at home. Yeah, Louisiana Hofstra both 45 and 44. I mean, yes, they can do this, but those have been home games.
Troy to 42.
No. I'm talking about
Toledo 49.
I'm talking about look at the previous. So 2019, they were a 3 seed, beat Georgia State 84-55. That's what 29 points. 2021, they're a 2 seed, 87-56, Cleveland State. You're not wrong actually, 63-52. Last year though, 86-46, Longwood. So when they've been the 1 seed though, that was against Northern Kentucky. They only won by 11. That was 2023. Yeah, I don't know. I just think this team is gonna fuck them up.
I don't know. I'm not going to play the points, but if I had to pick a side instead of anything else, I would take the points with Edwardsville.
So, but you like the team total? You're taking the team total under though?
Yeah, probably. I don't know first half or game, because I mean, who wants to bet an under 21.5? But if I'm worried about potential motivation for Houston, I know they play better in the first half, but you just want a tournament on Saturday, your conference tournament on Saturday, then you fly. You may have stayed. It looks like they stayed. Then you're going to play them. So, I mean, will they get up? Probably they will. They don't sleepwalk, but at the same time, they're up 24 points with the under 4 minute, do they really care to just blast them and win by 30? I mean, I think they probably, I don't know.
Kelvin
Who wants
Sampson's
to? Nobody's going to want to bet Edwardsville. Everyone's going to lay it with Houston. Everyone's going to lay it with Houston. Just interesting one. McNeese Clemson. No, I did hear and read today that what's his nuts? Will Wade was a grad assistant or whatever at Clemson too. So a little extra factor here. McNeese was the popular dog last year. They didn't get it done. Clemson, pretty damn good. Beat Duke this year. There are people. I'm sure there's going to be people that like McNeese, but I think a lot of people are going to like Clemson. Clemson had a damn good year. They made a run last year. Only 7.5. I think we were seeing a lot of Clemson.
Trevor, I love you. Brother Trevor, I love you. But this is March Madness. It's like the Super Bowl. It's a 50-50 side. There's not really public. I mean, unless it's stuff getting hammered, but it is a public thing. Just want to say that.
Fair. No, but there definitely are games and sides that get hit more than the other.
That's fair.
It's public perception.
I'm just saying. This is winner of the game goes VIU's next coach, and by God, I hope it's Will Wade, not Brad Brunell.
I think he's going back to McNeese for another year. I think. I'm not sure.
Oh, fuck me.
Thank you for the AI image search forecast. Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, they can't get back in time.
This is going to be one for me where I'm going to be betting McNeese plus the 7.5, but I am going to be having Clemson advance in my bracket. I think Clemson wins this game. It's going to be a close game. Dylan Hunter out for the season, broken hand. Obviously, we don't care too much about injury news, but he's kind of a guy off the bench that I think would have helped them throughout this tournament run. This first game, don't think it really necessarily matters. Clemson plays at a slow pace, but I think that McNeese has the athletes to kind of keep up in this game. I don't think that they're going to get routed again like they did against Gonzaga last year. I think they remember that embarrassment. McNeese got a couple other pieces in the portal. Will Wade's going to be able to kind of remind them of what happened last year and make sure that doesn't happen again. So I see this as a close game. 7.5 feels like a little bit too many points for me. I think Clemson wins this by 4 or 5. So I'll be betting McNeese plus the 7.5. I think it opened at 8.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Elliott here on the spread. I'm gonna go with McNeese. I think, public dog loses last year to Gonzaga, and loses bad. And I don't remember the exact spread, but I think it was around 10 or 11.5. And they got blown out the gym. And now you have a Clemson team, been to the Sweet 16, Elite 8. Clemson team kind of drilling teams, especially in the ACC. And yeah, like to your point, Trevor, beat Duke, beat whatnot, and definitely has a height advantage here with McNeese. But if McNeese wants to win this game, they need to be able to extend the floor. And I think defensively, they are the top teams in the country that hold teams to hold the ball more. So with that metric, I like the over/under. I think it's a little telling. Going to see us in the 70-60 game, and McNeese covers this spread on like a 72-67 game, and it's a little tight, but I do like McNeese here to cover the points. I think there is a chance that they can get this done, especially off a successful team in Clemson last year. And we're going to fade the ACC and ride high a little bit. So give me McNeese. How can you fade their swagger? How can you fade the manager, Amir Khan? Guy's a legend.
Hey, he's already signed 3 NIL deals.
It's incredible.
Tick pick.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
The sticker slapped on the front of that sticker.
That's another one with Veta.
Buffalo Wild Wings and Insomnia Cookies. Those were the 3.
Yeah, I know. Insomnia Cookies randomly balled out on their March Madness. John Rothstein's like, Doom Insomnia Cookies. He had like the picture up. He's like,
yeah. I do like the first half under in this game. Both teams play at a very, very slow pace. Both teams defensive oriented. I mean, you saw McNeese, what they did earlier in the season to Alabama. They really slowed that game down. I think final was in the 70s, 60s, kind of how you exactly what you had said. I think it looked like the final was like 72-64. They're at now is at Alabama. So I think that they're going to be able to kind of slow down the game. That's what they're going to look to do. So I like the first half under. I even don't mind the full game under either. This game could very well be a 65-62 ending or something like that. But I will be playing that first half under there as well.
Yeah, McNeese points the money line for me. I think McNeese, last year, public dog, they ran out the gym by 25 in the first half, never stood a chance against Gonzaga, but now Clemson, never had expectations. Now they have some expectations on them this year. And McNeese, I think, is going to be motivated. It's kind of a chance to show out a little bit, who's ever not a senior is going to be able to potentially transfer. If Wade says he implied he was staying, but somebody offers him a bag, who knows where his loyalty would lie there. I mean, he could easily skip town too, and take some guys with him. So I think this is a nice show out period too. And neutral Clemson has all that notoriety. Being one of the 3 teams in the ACC that's actually a good team. So. I like McNeese. They got a lot of bench depth too to rotate. They gang rebound. Shoemate's an absolute dog. I'll take McNeese for the points here with you guys. ECU was catching 3.5 to BYU.
Was that our first triple since the first 4 games?
I think we had. Were we all on Purdue? No, you guys had High Point. You guys had a High Point. Xavier?
Yeah. I said outside of the first 4 games, though.
It might be.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to lock up VCU here on the spread. I think the defense is what can keep them in. BYU, though, is ending the season super hot. I know they got exposed a little bit by Houston. VCU is definitely not Houston, but defensively they're up there in the rankings. But I wanted to console you guys before I did anything because the elevation scares me that they're in Denver. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock game in Denver, Denver time. Is there an issue with that for VCU's offense against BYU?
I see the concern, but I get it. But VCU, I think, is going to get there, as soon as they can. I'm sure they're probably there today to get adjusted to it. And you said it, VCU is basically a AAA team, a AAA Houston. They play the exact same thing. They don't let you have open shots. They crash the glass. They offense and defense. They don't give you extra possessions. They shoot 35% from. Oh, that's conference play. 35% from three. 12th best offensive rebounding team in the country. I know BYU can rebound too, but the entire team for VCU rebounds, and then they get wide open kick out threes. And I think this is VCU profile similar to Houston here. I know their size isn't the same, but they play the same style. So I think and where did BYU struggle this year? Houston mollywopped them both times. So if they're not getting open shots, I think VCU's live here. I think this 3.5 is telling too. BYU played really good down the stretch. Now they're only laying 3.5 in elevation against a team that I don't think has probably even played in elevation yet this year. So I think it's a little telling. I think VCU is going to win this game, and they're going to take down my Badgers in the round of 32. Unfortunately, that's where I've come to grips with. So give me VCU 3.5 in the money line. Is that it?
Muted, buddy.
Muted. Still muted.
You're muted. Uh-oh, his Wi-Fi may be going out.
Oh, am I
There it
better
is.
now?
There you go.
There you go.
Did you hear what I was saying, who I'm taking?
No.
No, couldn't hear a lick what you were saying.
All right, I said I hate to fade my Big 12 schools, but I am going to be on VCU here. Couple teams that BYU struggled with this year. They struggled against Cincinnati second time around. Obviously, it concerns me in the elevation just because that's what BYU is used to, and they kind of route teams at home. But I think VCU is a solid defensive team, just like Houston. I think that they can kind of mimic and take the game plan that Houston implemented and kind of take BYU out of what they want to do. They'll be able to kind of out-physical them, force BYU to shoot up tough threes. And the other thing that I think is VCU is a better three-point shooting team than Houston, and BYU likes to give up the three ball. I think VCU can take advantage of that. If they can hit their threes, I think they win this outright. But I will take the plus 3.5. I see it's pretty juiced to the 3.5, so it might drop down to 3 or 2.5. But I'll be on VCU plus the 3.5. And I do have them advancing in my bracket here against BYU, unfortunately. I always like back in my Big 12 schools, but I think this is not a good spot. I mean, you get Ryan Odom against a first-year coach who used to be in the NBA, and Kevin Young. Give me the March Madness and Ryan Odom to kind of get it done here against BYU. So I'll take VCU.
Yeah, and VCU's an elite three-point defense too. Sub 29% allowed all year. It's like top 60, and then BYU 38% of points allowed from 3-point this year. That's 15th most in the country. VCU 51st in the country at getting threes because those offensive kickouts from the class. So I kind of think it's a rough matchup for BYU. This is probably the worst matchup they could have had outside of if they somehow were facing Houston again round one. I think this is honestly like the worst matchup they could have asked for.
Yeah, it's all just if VCU doesn't shoot good, it's going to be a close game. If VCU is just average shooting the three, I think they can win this game. I think the other thing you look at is I just don't think that BYU is going to kind of win a grinded out game like that. I don't think that that's their style, and that's VCU's identity.
I just reading this op-ed on Deseret News, some Mormon op-ed sites. So they're all talking about how they're battle tested. I mean, both teams I think are definitely underseeded here. VCU loses to George Mason. They're in the first four. Like, kind of crazy to think about considering that they're top 35 in Ken Palm. But yeah, I mean, you guys definitely took it and ran with it. I think the key here is if VCU can defend the three, and I think VCU's guard play has just as much depth as BYU does, and I think VCU spoils it. And also, they've been here before. They've been the Cinderella multiple times. They've always spoiled teams in the NCAA tournament. And if you look at BYU in the NCAA tournament, historically wise, like it's not the best. I mean, last year they lose to Duquesne and choke. You can say that they bounce back potentially, but I mean VCU is better than Duquesne. I'd be scared to play VCU if I'm a top seed. But BYU has lost in the round of 64 since 2012. Every time they won one first four game in 2012. And then a Sweet 16 is all that they've been able to touch. So I think they're a little cursed in March when it comes to March Madness too. So I'll take the luck of the Rams and their March magic here. So give me VCU to cover for sure.
Says the Mormons pulling out that belt in the name of Joseph.
And my dog's barking too. So.
Well, that's because I was flipping the game right now. Oh yeah, wait, no, it's just kidding. VCU's the dog. Yep, bark, bark, bark. There we go, Franklin. Franklin knows ball. Kyle, Cougs up BYU comfortably. You hate to see it. Donating to DraftKings like that. You hate to see it. Georgia Zaga. The only thing I've heard all day? Gonzaga always makes a Sweet 16. All they do is go to the Sweet 16. Well, if they beat Georgia, they got to go play Houston. So I don't think so, but they're laying a 5.5 number. Georgia's in the SEC. Yes, Georgia sucks away from home. They have all year, but the SEC was hands down the best conference all year. And in the non-con, Georgia beat Georgia Tech. They beat St. John's. They did lose to Marquette on a neutral. Beat Notre Dame, beat Grand Canyon. They beat Kentucky. Granted, that was at home, but regardless, like Georgia Tech was a road win. St. John's neutral. So if we're just going to take the non-home games, like they've got a road win over a Georgia Tech team that finished the year hot. Granted they didn't play too well in ACC play, but they beat St. John's.
Yep. Well, I will be battling you here and taking the Zags. I think they're a scary 8-9 seed as well. Just based on, coaching alone. I know that they may not have as good of a roster as they've had in the past, but I still think there's some great pieces, especially that you're going to see against Georgia. And I've seen Georgia multiple times just flail in the second half and play somewhat tough. This Gonzaga offense is very similar to Alabama. They got blown out by Alabama. So maybe they're not the same efficiency-wise, but they still run and gun. They still make shots. They can take it inside. I think Georgia's definitely can match Gonzaga on the rebounds, but just thinking how much Gonzaga can get on into transition, I think Georgia will let them through countless times. So I will take the Zags here and not fade Mark Few in the first round. So I will take Gonzaga.
Yeah, I'll be on the Bulldogs here.
Yep, good call.
That's it. That's my cap. No, I'll be on Gonzaga. I think people are gonna just try to fade them off of what they think is not a very impressive year here with Gonzaga. But yeah, give me Mark Few against Mike White. I'll take Gonzaga on neutral against the Georgia team. They have been playing better. Don't get me wrong. They ended the season on that 4-game win streak with a couple impressive wins. Florida at home and then Texas on the road. But then they dropped that game to Oklahoma in that first round of the SEC tournament. I think that Georgia can be very physical defensively and kind of make it tough on Gonzaga, but I think Graham Ike down low and just the playmaking and passing ability of Ryan Nembhard and the shot creating and shot making ability of Khalif Battle for Gonzaga is going to really allow Gonzaga to kind of pull away from Georgia here. And it'll be an awesome matchup against Houston versus Gonzaga in that second round.
Yeah. A freaking November ass game on Thanksgiving type of game in March. It's awesome. And then the second round.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
I wasn't done. I was just saying Georgia had some nice wins, but I'm gonna back Gonzaga here. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna go down with the ship. I don't think Gonzaga makes a Sweet 16 this year. I think Houston busts their ass. But Georgia just hasn't been great. I know they finished the year hot, but they lost to Oklahoma and Kansas State kind of did something similar. They were bad, and then they hit a 6-game win streak, and then after that win streak ended, they just flailed and floundered down the stretch too. So I think it'll be something similar personally. So I'll take Gonzaga here with you boys.
All right. Love the fake out. Pump fake. Special there.
A little head fake action. Wofford, Tennessee. This is one I question if Tennessee can cover because of their offense. I'm not saying Wofford's going to put up 70, 65, 70 points, but I just worry about Tennessee. And it's Rick Barnes in March. I'm going to play probably the team total under, though. Defense does travel, and Tennessee can't shut down these teams here. I will say the internet sensation of the day will be the center for Wofford. I forget his name. What the hell is his name? Oh, Kyler Filwich, whatever. He's going to be pulling up some granny free throws, and he's going to take the internet by storm on Thursday. That's my bold call on this one. But I think Tennessee handles business. What is the Wofford team total here?
I believe it's 50.5, 52.5.
Another 50.5, huh?
I think it's like
56.5. 56.5.
Oh, 56?
Feed me that. Wofford under 56.5. Neutral. Tennessee off of a loss, and they held the Florida to 76 or something like that. 76.
86 in the championship.
Oh, so then they scored 70 something. Okay. Well, regardless, I still think Tennessee's defense travels. I think this 133 is pretty telling. That it's just going to be, Tennessee all day. I would lay it with Tennessee over Wofford, but I don't trust Tennessee's offense, to cover a 20-point spread at all. So I'll take their defense to show up, lock down, and get this one done. I think they win like 76 to like 47 or something like that, which that's 30. So I guess never mind. I guess they could cover that, but I feel better with the team total under.
Well, I will lay it with Tennessee. I think I do agree with you on the Wofford team total under. I may double down and play that as well too. I definitely like that. I think one of those team total unders for Edwardsville or Wofford will hit for us there, and even full game as well. I do think Tennessee's offense will be okay against these Terriers, though. Wofford do not force turnovers. They don't really defend anything quite well. They foul a good amount. Tennessee can get to the line. I know they'll be getting some calls, and Tennessee traveling to Lexington is fairly easy for these crazy-ass Tennessee fans. So I think this place will be rocking. And Wofford's defense is in a world of hurt that I just think their game depends on how their offense is and how they spread the floor. And Tennessee does what they do best, and that's shoot the three for Wofford. I mean, they live and die by the three, and Tennessee will be able to defend that and put some pressure. So I like them to lay the points, and yeah, I do like your Wofford team total under there. But I did bet the lay, and we'll see if I end up taking the under though.
Yeah, I will be on Tennessee. I'll lay it with the 18.5. That'll be my pick. I will probably end up betting that Wofford team total under or the full game under, but probably more in terms of I just don't know if Wofford's going to be able to stop Tennessee, and Tennessee might kind of not really run up the score, but be able to be really efficient, make some shots, create, get some easy buckets. And so I'd be scared that they would be able to do just enough, maybe score in like that 85 range, and it'd be like 85 to 50 or something. So I don't really feel like the full game under, but Wofford team total under, I think would be a play. Rick Barnes as at Tennessee as a 1 through 3 seed. Tennessee has allowed 49 points, 56 points, 70 points. That was against Colgate, and 47 points respectively since 2014. And Rick Barnes, so he would have hit this team total under in 3 of the 4 times that they were a 1 through 3 seed in the first round, and that one time was when they were a 2 seed against Colgate, and they gave up 70 to Colgate. So I do like that Wofford team total under.
Yeah, it seems like people are kind of split on this one, which I can't really say I blame you. But Bill is off the sauce.
Bill,
today.
Wofford did play Duke, and they lost 86-35 in Cameron. They did beat St. Louis. They're fraudulent though, and outside of Duke though, they really haven't played anyone up to that caliber in the top 10 at least. So
yeah, and I mean, would you agree, Huffer, that Duke is Tennessee is probably the better defensive team in terms of Duke versus Tennessee comparing?
Oh yeah, but I mean they held Louisville to 55, Montana to 57, Virginia to 42, Martin to 35, so Western Carolina to 36, Norfolk State to 52, Arkansas to 52. I mean, I think we're getting a good number there. So I may hop in and join with you guys. So
that was
I think Duke's defense is a little bit skewed from playing in the ACC versus Tennessee playing in the SEC. I will say that. I'm not saying Duke's defense is bad, but I think it's a little skewed from getting to play the likes of fucking Georgia Tech and Virginia and Va Tech and shit like that all year.
You said Wofford team total under 56.5. Is that correct? Is that the number?
I see 56.5 on DraftKings. Let me take a gander here at the old offshore ski.
Not to mention this Tennessee game's in Lexington, so it's a home game for Tennessee.
Travel.
Yeah. So there's going to be a shit ton of fans there for Tennessee for sure.
Arkansas versus Kansas. Kansas laying 4.5 now. Now, if you watched the bracket release last night, I was calling for Hogs money line, but I did forget one piece of crucial information. Boogie Fland is back, and I believe he's going to be playing for Arkansas. So that reverts them back to when they were shit. Give me Kansas minus 4.5 here. I will lay it. If Boogie Fland is not playing, I will be on Arkansas, but I'm pretty positive he's going to play. So I'll take Kansas, but I'm going to wait to see the actual news on if Boogie's playing or not.
Elliot, you fading your Big 12, or are you going to Arkansas, or are you taking Kansas?
I will be on Arkansas here. Give me the Hogs. I think this line is a little bit too much. I believe this the rematch of last year not last year, 2 years ago when Arkansas knocked Kansas out. of the tournament. I think in the Elite Eight or Sweet 16, if I remember correctly. I think that I'm nervous because it's Calipari versus Self. Self is the far superior coach here. I think he will be able to coach circles around Calipari, and his ATO game is elite. And when it comes to these tournament games that are decided by 2 or 3 possessions, getting 2 to 3, maybe 4 open dunks, layups off of ATOs that Bill Self continuously draws up is super key and important. But I'm a K-State fan, so obviously, I don't necessarily like Kansas. I've backed Kansas quite a bit this year, thinking that their backs were against the wall and that they were going to be able to kind of respond. But this team, man, I just don't think that they have it in them to do that. And I think Arkansas getting the 4.5. I'll take Arkansas plus the 4.5.
I think I'm gonna go with Kansas here. I've been going back and forth with this one all day and last night as well too. Initially, I liked Arkansas as well with you. Not really worried about the Boogie Flan thing, but this just feels like a random. They're disrespecting Kansas. This is Bill Self's lowest seed in the NCAA tournament. I think he's going to be able to get it done and in the first round and get some magic turnaround. Dickinson's had success in March, and I think Kansas just has a slight edge in a few parameters that we like to look at, and we were looking at analytics. I do think we see. I kind of like Kansas first half as well too. I think they take the first half. We've seen Arkansas down multiple big games in the first half, and then coming back a little bit in the second half. So I like Kansas here, definitely first half, and we'll see about that full game too for sure. Laying the points with Kansas.
Yale versus Texas A&M. A&M's laying 7.5. Who wants to start this one?
Yale is another public team, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But they did beat Auburn last year. Laying points with A&M hasn't been successful.
Yale's a big team too. They're physical.
Yeah, they are physical, but Yale did lose to Minnesota. They've lost to teams. They can score a lot of points. I think A&M's defense is an edge here, though. I want to buy into this Yale team. I'm not saying I want to lay the points with A&M, but I'm not going to take money line with Yale here. For me, this is an A&M play, and Yale is not going to get it done. So I'll go ahead and lay it with A&M. I got to bet every game. I have to. So I wasn't maybe going to bet this, but I will.
Kyle is screaming Texas A&M blowout.
What's
that?
What are you going here, Trev?
I've been kind of back and forth on this one. I just don't like that Yale's so freaking public. Everybody loves them. This line hasn't budged. Yale can shoot. They're big. They're physical. They got him Bang, who's an absolute stud. But I just worry about them being able to rebound and get second chances. If they're not falling right away, they're screwed. A&M's just going to dominate the glass. Now A&M's offense is pretty pitiful, but I'm going to go A&M here. I think their rebounding is what really kills Yale here. They're going to get second chance points. They're going to take away extra possessions from Yale. Wade Taylor in March, he's got to show up. I just don't like the Yale love. I've seen so much Yale and UC San Diego stuff. that it's just kind of scared me off. But A&M on the glass, big physical. Wade Taylor on their side. I'll go A&M here, laying the 7.5. This line hasn't moved either, by the way. Open 7.5 still sitting there.
I will be on. I'll be on Yale here plus 7.5. I do have Texas A&M winning and advancing. But yes, I will be on Yale. I'll bet it. I'll battle any of you fuckers who think that Texas A&M is going to win by 20. Give me Yale to keep this close, just like they did last year against Auburn, winning that outright. I think this Yale team's actually a better team than what they had last year when they beat Auburn. Texas A&M, we've seen what they've done kind of as bigger favorites. They tend to struggle. I mean, Buzz always takes that underdog role and plays that to a T. But you got Pulakaitis and Mbang. You got Townsend down low. I know he's a little short, undersized. But he can definitely kind of hold his own. I think that Pulakaitis and Mbang kind of keep them in here with their guard play. But yeah, so yeah, give me Yale plus the 7.5. But I do have. I'm not calling money line or anything like that. I don't think it's an upset. I think that Texas A&M definitely advances with the likes of some not necessarily late game heroics, but just some late game play by Wade Taylor and Zurich Phelps down the stretch.
True. Next, here we go. Drizzy versus Missouri.
I got this one. You know what? Drake. Everyone loves Drake. Drake. Play some Drake. You know what? I've seen this Drake team do this countless times, similar to BYU. They lose in the first round last year against Washington State. They lose in the first round against Miami. They lose in the first round against USC. Lose in the first round Western Kentucky with Clayton Korver, Kyle Korver's brother, on a buzzer beater. So I will take Missouri here. I think although Drake, I normally like taking the teams that are play at a slower pace, play a good defense, but I think Missouri, just physicality, athleticism wise, is a dangerous foe for Drake, and I think the foul game takes us over. I do like maybe winning margin, but I will just lay the points with Missouri. I think the foul game gets it done, and we see Drake just get kind of outmatched in physicality here in Wichita. So kind of a home game for both teams almost. So that'll be kind of interesting to see the crowd dispersion in Wichita, but I think Missouri can get in transition, force some turnovers. They don't turn the ball over as much, which is one of Drake's specialty. And Missouri still shoots the three well. Drake defends the three well. So I need Missouri to be able to capitalize there. And Drake fouls a good amount too, which Missouri gets the second best team in the country at getting to the line with attempts. So I will take Missouri laying the points. I think they outclass Drake here. And we see issues for Drake again in the tournament. I mean, they did win 30 games, though. 30 wins are normally a good sign for tournament teams. So playing devil's advocate there.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Drake. I know it's public as hell. This line's gone up from 5.5 to 6.5, but I still like Drake. Their ability to slow it down. This total's 133.5 in a Missouri game. I think Drake just takes the air out of the ball and just steals the game flow, and they get their style of game here. Drake can rebound. Drake has the ability to get to the free throw line. They can shoot. They can make their free throws. I know they turn it over a lot, but a lot of those turnovers are like what's the shot clock violation, because they sit there and they pass it around and they waste time to try to find better shots, and then they take bad shots and get shot clock violations. They don't give it up via steal a lot. So I like that. Drake is very handsy with the ball too. They force a lot of steals. They are number one in steal percentage in the country. Missouri 140th and not giving it away. Drake's 59th, not giving it away in the country. Drake shoots about 71% versus 72.5 for Missouri. Both teams foul a lot too. So, it could be kind of gross, but maybe a little bit of an over here just because of the amount of free throws that have potential of being taken. And then, possessions aren't going to be taken away from either side, I don't think here. I think both teams are pretty good with the ball. But I think Drake can hang in here, just taking the air out of the ball, getting their style of game. This 133 kind of tells me it'll be somewhere around that number. So I like Drake. Not to mention Ben McCollum, 4 national titles at the D2 level. So I mean, like this team came with them. So this team has tournament experience. Granted, they're in a different role. They're not the big dogs here anymore. They're getting praised and everyone loves them. I get it. But they've been in this role. They know what to do in tournament play here. So I'll take Drake getting this 6.5. And not to mention McCollum and company, they're at Northwest Missouri State, Northeast Missouri State, somewhere, something like that.
Northwest Missouri State.
Northwest Missouri State. So a lot of these kids, got overlooked by these in-state schools, and this is absolute big brother of the state, Missouri College. So I like Drake to keep it closer. I don't know about money line, but I do think they keep this within 3 possessions, just given their style of play.
Let's battle.
Let's do it.
Yep, I'll battle you too here, Huffer. I think that Missouri has really struggled down the stretch. Lost 4 of their last 5 in SEC play. They've looked different. They've kind of looked lost, like they haven't been the same team like that they were at the kind of the beginning, middle, and almost towards the end of that SEC play, where they were kind of rolling. They had kind of figured out their identity, and I feel like they've kind of lost that identity just from what I've looked, what I've watched here in the last 4 or 5 games. Maybe they can turn it on and flip the switch, and if they do, kudos to them. But I will take Drake plus the 6.5. I think that they'll be live to win the game. Are they going to? Not sure. Sturts for Drake will be able to kind of create some shots, and we'll see if he can kind of make enough shots down the stretch to kind of get them to victory. But I just think that Trevor kind of hit it spot on with, a lot of the times people are like, oh, this Drake team, they don't have experience. Well, they do. They've, similar format with the D2 level, same tournament setting. McCollum brought all these guys over. And I think that Drake will be able to take the air out of the ball, like Trevor said, and be able to kind of slow this game down. Their defense is not to be messed with, and I think that they can really kind of affect Missouri on the offensive side. So I'll be on Drake here plus the 6.5.
You guys are screwed. Missouri's going to run them up. Let's go.
Nah, no shot. This is the one the public's right on. Utah State, UCLA. I gotta grab some water. I'll be right back.
Elliot, you've kind of led one, I don't think. Go ahead.
Well, you give me the shit game?
No. This isn't a shit game at all. It's a great game.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's see. I'll be on UCLA and their defense. This 5.5 number seems a little to me, especially with UCLA and shooting only about 70% from the free throw line. They do defend the 3 very well, which is something that Utah State obviously likes to take advantage of. I think this is going to be the Ian Martinez show for Utah State. But I think it's a UCLA spot here. I think we'll back Cronin here in March, and possibly set up a pretty good freaking banger of a game in UCLA versus Tennessee in that second round if we can potentially get it. But Utah State's not somebody that UCLA can be looking past or looking looking towards the next round, they gotta take care of the matter at hand, because if Utah State gets hot, they can definitely upset UCLA here. But I'll take UCLA. I'll back the better defense, and I will lay the 5.5, and we'll fade Mountain West Conference yet again.
I like UCLA to win the game. I've gone back and forth on the spread, so I need to make final decisions. But I'll lean UCLA minus 5.5. I just think Utah State, a run and gun type team that kind of lives and die by the 3, and is a good team that spreads the floor. And it's not like UCLA's defense against the 3 is the best. I mean, it's definitely upper class, up above average in the country. But I think the edge here for this spread is UCLA down low and UCLA inside of the perimeter. So, if they can stop Utah State from making their threes, they're going to win this game comfortably by 8 to 10. And, don't love laying this 5.5 number, but I will lay it. I'm definitely taking UCLA money line in my bracket. I'm not going to take minus 240 or whatever it is here, but I think this is a troublesome game for Utah State. And you got Mick Cronin here in March as well, too, where he's proved himself. And I know Jared Calhoun's a good coach. He went for Youngstown State. I just want you to know, though, it's his rookie season for March Madness. He's only been in postseason for NIT. Cronin's taken teams that shouldn't be as good a decent ways in March. So, I will back UCLA here. Definitely picking them in my bracket, but wasn't the most confident about this spread.
Yeah, of course. It's a fucking 5.5 number. We hate that shit.
Yeah, we hate it, but I think the inside game is their edge.
Don't let Kyle know you guys believe in that 5.5 voodoo too, because it's real. He just he doesn't buy into it, but it's a real fucking thing. But Utah State for me. I know they played Colorado State. Was that Friday night or something? Played them Friday night. Looked absolutely horrible. Could not hit anything. Still managed to climb out of a 20-some point hole. Lost that game by like 10 or something like that, 11. So I mean, they just had a terrible shooting night. I don't know if that'll happen again. I do agree with you guys. I do worry about the interior for UCLA with their size. With Mara 7'3", Billito 6'9", but Utah State does have a guy who's 7'2". They have some guys that obviously the size is going to be in UCLA's favor, but I just think Utah State plays pretty good. The Mountain West is historically not a great team to back, but I think their shooting, their guard play is going to be enough to do this, and UCLA can definitely lay a stinker. Like we've seen that a bunch this time, or a bunch this year. So I'll take the 5.5. I think UCLA wins it, but I think they win in a tight one. Classic March game where this comes down to last possession. Someone heaves up. Utah State heaves up a half-court shot. It doesn't go in. They lose the game by 2-3 points, something like that. So I'll take Utah State with the 5.5 here in this one. Personally.
All right. That'll be a fun one. Games will definitely be delayed tomorrow. These games will definitely get pushed back a little bit.
Yeah. Works for me. This one, Mr. Omaha.
Yeah.
I don't see a trash can out here.
Well, I mean, every time I bet on them, I've been right, or bet against them, I've been right. I've gotten them. I've capped them perfectly this season.
Sure.
I definitely think St. John's is gonna cause them some issues here. Just worried about Omaha's defense, man. St. John's been able to drill teams. They beat up on the low end teams a little bit. They beat up on New Mexico, even Fordham, Quinnipiac, Kansas State. Even they beat up on Bryant. I think this is damn near a statement game. I know Omaha's been playing with the great gel, great vibe, and just don't think their defense is going to be able to hang with St. John's. And I'm going to take defense here, and especially low guard play. So give me St. John's and Patino. To definitely win the game. I don't foresee an upset here, but yeah, I think St. John's wins by 22.
I like Omaha first half. We've seen St. John's come out slow a bunch. Big East tournament and in regular season play. And in that second half, they just put their foot on your neck and break your neck. I think Omaha hangs in here. They got decent size. They can shoot the ball too. Their defense isn't terrible either. I know St. John's is obviously going to outclass them, but I think for the first half, Omaha can hang in. I mean, it's 11.5. I think Omaha can hang in between like 6 to 8, 6-9 points, somewhere around there. And then that second half, St. John's opens it up. Omaha feeling pretty good at half. It's within single digits. St. John's hasn't looked great, but Patino will go into that locker room and motherfuck them and call them pussies, and to fight back and show some adversity. So I'll take Omaha first half. I think you might be fine taking St. John's second half spread or live at some point. If Omaha is up like 17-9 or something early, you can get St. John's like minus 10.5 or something. I think that would be a nice middle spot, because I think they'll come back a little bit in the end of the first half, be up 6-7 points, and then foot on the gas second half and run Omaha out the gym. So Omaha first half, potential live bet spot for St. John's for me in this one.
I like that. Mind that. Omaha plus 11.5 first half. It could be a 7-game game. St. John's still covers. So.
Yep. We've seen that multiple times in the Big East tournament. They were down 10 and 15 and won the game by 20 points to Marquette and Creighton. So,
yeah, I'll be on Omaha plus the 18.5. For some reason, I just get this feeling that St. John's is going to have one of these games where they haven't really been, where they just aren't hitting their shots. We haven't seen that in a while. They were rolling. They're in Big East play. They're at the end of the season. They kind of have at times have struggled to kind of put the ball in the basket, and they've relied with their kind of tough, gritty, getting all the loose balls, offensive rebounds, putbacks, things of that nature. I think this is I just get this weird feeling that this is one of those games where St. John's wins. It might never be like a close game where they're really getting scared or anything like that. But I think that this game could be like a 65-50 game, something like that, or like a 70-58 game. So getting the 18.5, I just think that for some reason I'm getting a feeling that St. John's is really going to kind of struggle here offensively, even against and not because of Omaha's defense or anything like that. I don't think that their defense is awful. I just think that sometimes, St. John's lacks being able to put the ball in the bucket, and I think maybe this is one of those games that it happens. So I'll be on the plus 18.5, and I would probably I'll bet the first half plus 11.5 with you. That'll probably be my for sure bet, just because I do like your angle of St. John's coming out slow. We've seen it all year. That K-State game, they were down by 2 at half. To K-State there at home.
The Bryant game too.
Yeah. So, you've seen it all year. I do like that. But I just feel like it's good. One of these times the Johnnies are going to struggle offensively. Hopefully maybe for their sake, it's here at the very beginning of the tournament, rather than later on when they're playing a team they can really take advantage.
Yes, sir.
All right, UC San Diego catching 2.5 against Michigan. Definitely a fire game. Seth Davis did pick UC San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Trev, what are you doing here?
Man, I want to play San Diego so bad. So bad. They did play Irvine tight. Irvine's got that 7-footer, but his athleticism and ability is nowhere near what Vlad and Danny Wolf can do. Danny Wolf, very turnover prone, where San Diego can take advantage of you, but you're getting 2.5. Like, they need to win the game, basically. Like, they need to beat Michigan. I think UC San Diego is just way too public. I think everybody's loving it. They're like, oh, this is 2.5. It's telling you what's going to happen. Michigan off of the tournament, traveling. Now they got to play a really good San Diego team. I don't think San Diego's played a Power 5 team at all this year, to be honest.
They played San Diego State. Oh, I guess they're not Power 5, but I consider them Power 5.
So that would be the closest team. They played Toledo, Utah State. I guess they beat Utah State also by 2. So I mean, their wins are Utah State and lost to San Diego State by 5 on the road. But I just think the 7-footers are going to be too much. Trey Donaldson's just transformed into a Wooden Award potential player the last 2 weeks. He's just been monstered. And Michigan has a knack for winning these one possession games. Like they, you can say it's lucky. It probably is. They probably should have lost more, but they just find ways to get it done. I think Michigan's going to end up being too much. I really hate it. But I'm going to take Michigan minus the 2.5 here. And this would be another bet where it's like, I just like North Carolina. Like, I don't want to do it, but if I feel like it's the right spot to be on, UC San Diego is extremely public, and I think Michigan wins this game by 7-8 points or something. I think maybe San Diego hangs around, but Michigan finds a way to pull away late. And if it is a one possession game, they found ways to get it done. So I will see where this goes. This open 3.5, it drops, so maybe it'll drop down to -2 or something. I can get a better money line price, but I will be on. I'll be on Michigan with this one. If they lose, I'm not even going to be mad about it, to be honest.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not worried about whatever betting this nonsense. Who's betting who? Everyone's betting 2 sides in this. I'll take the Tritons and stick to my word. I think this is a public team that can cause an upset, and I know that last year that was McNeese State for a lot of people, and McNeese didn't get it done, and they didn't really show up at all. But the year before that, it was Furman against Virginia, and Furman got it done. So I think UC San Diego's going to be an issue here for Michigan, especially how they spread the floor. They're used to the size game, although that there is a massive size difference in Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden, who they kind of depend on. I like this UC San Diego team. I think they're going to come in playing hot, especially their first year eligibility that they get in. It's just they got to be able to hang down low against Michigan. That's where Michigan can absolutely expose them. So I'll still take the UC San Diego smoke.
Yeah, I will be on UC San Diego as well. I'm not going to stray from it. The public's got to be right sometimes, or else people will just quit betting. I also like my motto that I always used to say: 3s are better than 2s. So give Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf inside the 2s, and UC San Diego will rain down some 3s. But I do think that, if it's either UC San Diego probably wins this outright or Michigan wins by 15 plus.
Yeah.
Because if UC San Diego struggles from the 3-point line and they can't hit their shots, which really we haven't really seen that very much this year. They're a well-gelled team for a lot of D2 transfers that Coach Olin brought in, specifically like Tyler McGee. He's one of those guards that can absolutely just light up the scoreboard from 3. And then Aniwaniwa, Tate Jones. He's another good great player. I shouldn't even say good, great player for them that can really fill up the score sheet too. So yeah, I feel like if UC San Diego is not hitting their threes, it's Michigan by 15 plus. But I'm going to trust that they're going to be able to put the ball in the bucket like they have all season, and I will be on UC San Diego plus the 2.5 money line. Anyway, this will be my looking at my bracket. I think this will be my only 12-5 upset. Yes, a little foreshadowing. It'll be my only 12-5 upset.
You guys make me want to just bet San Diego just because, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with Michigan. I got to do it. Wilmington versus Texas Tech. Now this is I know it's a 14-3, but nobody's given any chance to Wilmington, and it's a 15.5 point spread. Problem I have with Wilmington is they go on scoring droughts. It's kind of where I sit on it.
No one's giving them any credit. I shouted them out last night. Give me the Hawks. I think they're going to be a little dangerous here, and that their guard play can run. I think Texas Tech's a physical team. Wilmington's got to be able to just match them physically. I will sprinkle the money line a little bit too. I think this is a team that is a little underseeded here. I could see them being definitely a 12 or 13 seed. And I will take them to cover against Texas Tech, who is still a good team defensively. They kind of were drilling these types of teams earlier in the season, but I don't think they played someone as good as UNC Wilmington on these non-cons outside of maybe Northern Colorado. But Wilmington, defensively they can hang. They've been able to hang around. Kansas, they just missed this number in the fog. They have blunder moments, but I think guard play is a key thing in March, and that's what UNC Wilmington has to their best ability. So I'll take Wilmington to cover the night spread.
Yeah,
and go for it.
Yeah, I'll be. Seems like I'm fading the Big 12 quite a lot here, which always is unfortunate. But I don't think Texas Tech. I'm not going to call for the money line. I think Texas Tech will win this game. I just think that down the stretch they'll be able to get it done, as we've seen throughout this year. I do think that Wilmington will be able to keep it close with the guards that they have and the ability that they have to score from that guard position. Also, not to mention Darian Williams and Chance McMillan were out for Texas Tech there in the Big 12 tournament. So they're going to kind of just now getting them back going. Not saying that they're like out of shape and like not in game shape, but they're putting them back into the lineup, into kind of that rotation. So it can take a little bit of time for that to happen. So I like UNC Wilmington in the first half line, but I also like it full game as well. So yeah, give me UNC Wilmington plus the 15.5. Looks like it's minus 105. So it looks like this maybe will go to 16.5. So I might wait on this. But yeah, I will be on Wilmington plus the points.
Yeah, this came out today. McMillan and Williams are going to play, but McCaslin's not sure how much they play. So they'll still be banged up. If they're up, majority of the game, I don't think he's going to force the issue and overplay them. I think he's going to let them rest for that second round game. That'll matter more. But yeah, like Huff said earlier, like they went to the fog. They hung in most of that game. They've got good guard play. I do kind of worry about their scoring droughts at times, but UNCW's got size to match with them too. Like they have a 6'1" guard, 6'3" player in Corbin. I'm not sure how much he plays, but the rest of these guys are 6'5", 6'7", 6'7", 6'9", 7 foot, 6'7", 6'7". Like they have a bunch of size and length too, which I think could kind of disrupt it a little bit. So I will take UNC Wilmington with you. They got experience. Size, length, they can shoot. Their guard play is elite, which matters in March. So I will take the healthy UNCW team with the size, and Texas Tech wins this game by 11 points or something like that. I think they kind of pull away late. They get the free throws. to expand it. So I'll ride the Seahawks with you guys.
Wilmington outright. I said it last night. Outright. Let's go.
There's always a crazy 14 or 15 seed that wins too every year. And Wilmington being a 14, that's kind of dangerous. They're a good team. So let's go Seahawks.
All right, moving into Friday's games now.
Yes, sir. Friday, and this might be one of my favorite bets.
Take it
Sound
away.
the alarm. Sound the alarm. Wee. Line
flip. I knew
Line
it.
flip. Line
Dude.
flip. Who the fuck is Mississippi State to be laying points? Baylor outright. Let's go. Fuck the 1.5. You got Roach, you got Edgecombe, Norchad O'Meara, tournament experience. Dude's a monster. Plays out his weight class. He's elite. Scott Drew better than Jans. This Mississippi State teams look terrible. Hubbard's an absolute monster. I will give you that. But Roach, Love, Celestine, O'Meara, like this team's good. I think they're kind of starting to play better at the right time here. And you want to talk about motivation? Duke's on deck. Assuming they fucking beat whoever the fuck they're playing, but
There's no look ahead spot in the NCAA.
I'm saying motivation. If they win, Jeremy Roach gets a chance at Duke. Baylor loves Roach. He's coming. He's turned it up. Started to look a lot better. I like Baylor here outright. They were favored for a reason. I don't know why people bet up Mississippi State so hard. Josh Hubbard can only take you so far. The rest of that team is terrible. So I will take Scott Drew and the better guard play with Baylor over Mississippi State.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be back in Baylor here. I'll be on the Big 12 side with this one. I just think that Trev brings up a good point. I think the guard play for Baylor, while Mississippi State's guard play is good, I think the guard play for Baylor is better. They are healthier. I know that their big is still out, and he's been out for the season. But down low, you look. I don't necessarily think that Mississippi State can really exploit down low what Baylor's been missing. So I'll ride with Baylor here. Another kind of good stat is Big 12, if they're a 9 seed or lower, an underdog of 2.5 or less, they're 6-2 against the spread, 5-3 straight up. That's since 2020 or 2014. So another good kind of possible statistic that you could kind of back this Baylor team. But yeah, I'll be on Baylor here. Just money line is fine. I'm not going to do the plus 1.5.
I mean, you got to say, this game is going to be intense on both sides. Tons of teams being able to get into to get out and run, and I think Baylor's got a slight edge in rebounding. I'm not saying Mississippi State can't rebound, but I like the way that they can play down low. And it's Scott Drew. I mean, to your point, Trevor, it's Scott Drew. Been there before. I know this isn't his best roster. They've dealt with a lot this season, a lot of adversity. And Mississippi State's just fallen flat. They're in the same spot last year, 8-9 seed versus Michigan State. You had a freshman in Josh Hubbard and, Tolu Smith. I think that they're definitely missing him down low for Mississippi State as well, too, as he graduated. So, tough to fade in Josh Hubbard. I like rooting for Josh Hubbard, but totally with you guys. I think Baylor's the better team, and I think Baylor gets it done. And they've dealt with a lot. And the 19 and 14 whatever team is laying the point. And how many times we get to fade the line flip in March? Not very often for March Madness. So let's do it.
Yes, sir. Next, Bobby Moe versus Bama. Bama's laying 22.5, 165.5 total. Who wants to kickstart the Horizon versus SEC?
Robert Morris, one of the best against the spread teams in the country.
and one of the luckiest in luck metric in the country as well.
So is Montana.
That's a fugazi stat. Like no one really cares about that stat.
Well, I mean, I just saw a stat that said the highest luck metric team is really never fared well, but never boded well in March. But
Poor Montana.
Alabama, I think, can be able to run, but I'm definitely taking Robert Morris here. I think Robert Morris defensively can hang around, and their guard play can hang around as well too. They found a groove, been able to play well, and I think they're going to come in hot. Cleveland, Ohio, not too far from Robert Morris and PA, like I mentioned on the selection show last night. Alabama, to their credit, has been able to drill teams, but I think this Alabama team's in a world of hurt for March. I don't trust them. They made a good run last year. They got great talent. They're fun to watch, but just defensively, they're really tough and to watch. So, total LA Fitness ball here. I think Robert Morris can hang around. I will take them bowl game here on the spread. Can't fade the highest team against the spread too. I see 20.
Here is something though. Grant Nelson, questionable Friday. So it doesn't sound like the injury's serious, but he probably won't play Friday would be my guess. I'm sure he'll play Sunday, but I do not think we will see Grant Nelson on Friday against Bobby Moe personally.
Whatever, I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'll take Robert Morris plus the 22.5. I mean, what we've seen constantly, Alabama loves to score. They don't really care about playing defense. It's optional. I think that you're getting 22.5 points. Shit, maybe even Alabama's up by 30 with 10 minutes left or 6 minutes left in the second half, and it gets down to a 20-point game because they kind of just coast to victory after being up for 30. They don't seem like a team that really cares about, finishing strong, and like a Kelvin Sampson team or like a VCU type team. Things that they play basically hard all 40 minutes, no matter what the score is. Give me Robert Morris plus the 22.5. I'm not going to bet this right now. I'm just going to kind of keep waiting because I think some of these lines will kind of get potentially a little bit higher. Maybe we'll buy 1 or 2 points, and here in the in the NCAA tournament, every point matters.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bobby Moe. 22.5. Sprinkle the money line. There's always a 3 or a 2 teams that goes down every year. Bob Morris. Their offense, they can shoot, they get to the line, they can rebound. And on defense, they don't foul you. They rebound very well. The 3-point defense, a little suspect, but Alabama we've seen can be hit or miss. From there, Mark Sears hasn't looked very good as of late either. Not to mention inside, Bama likes to score. Bob Morris pretty good interior wise, and Bama 344th in the country at getting their shots blocked. Rob Morris, 58th in the country. They block about 12%. If they do get interior inside, I think Bob Morris can block a couple shots, take away some possessions via that. And Bama doesn't force turnovers whatsoever either. Bob Morris active on the turnovers side there as well. I think this is far too much for Bama. I love Bob Morris. They've been playing damn good all year. They've had a horseshoe up their ass. Why is it going to change now? Alabama, I don't think has the defense to cover this at all, and I think their offense has been kind of suspect. And now you're going to take Grant Nelson out of that equation. I think it's a bad spot. Obviously the money line is a ridiculous call. I'm still going to sprinkle it because we do see a top 3 seed, 4 seed go down every year, sometimes twice. And I think Bob Morris has the makeup offensively and defensively to potentially pull this off against Alabama. I'm not high in Alabama. I don't think they're a good team. How they're a 2 seed, I kind of understand it, but I think they should have been a 3 seed personally. So I guess it's not a crazy difference there, but I like Bob Morris here. I'm going to sprinkle the money line. I'm going to ride it. I think we get a Bob Morris versus like St. Mary's round 2 or something like that. So give me Bobby Moe and sprinkle a little bit on the money line. What is the money line actually? Is it
Plus 1,800?
No, 20 to 1.
20 to 1? I see 18 on DraftKings. So shop around. Yep, shop around. Yeah. I like you guys. You guys gonna sprinkle money line with me?
No.
No, I don't know.
$5 wins 100.
I already did twice. So
I'm gonna sprinkle it.
I'll bet it live when I get a better price.
Lipscomb, Iowa State.
I'll take this one. I know Keshawn Gilbert's not playing. I think Iowa State is a dominant team. They've been able to kind of bury teams. But I've also seen them do it in the first half and then kind of stumble in the second half. Just defensively, they've looked really porous, and Lipscomb's not a bad team offensively. If I had to lean aside, I think Lipscomb's able to cover this game. I like Iowa State to win. I don't like Lipscomb on the money line, but I will take the over 142.5 ESPN bet special. I like it. I think Lipscomb's going to be able to score, and I think if Iowa State gets close to 80, we for sure get past this number. So, Lipscomb's been able to be good defense. They've been able to spread the floor as well too. They hung around with this number in Arkansas. They got blown out by Kentucky on the road. So they really are taking a step up in competition in Iowa State. But I think offensively they still are going to be able to get it done and put up points and allow points to Iowa State as well too, just being out physical, outmatched offensively as well too. So give me the over 142.5 here.
Elliot, Mr. Big 12.
Yeah, I still think, even without Keyshawn Gilbert, Iowa State, they're not happy about that exit that they had in the Big 12 tournament to BYU. I like that over call. We've seen consistently that Iowa State typically is a defensive team, and people think that they're a defensive team. But this year, it's been more of a we're going to outscore you type of a team. So I really do like that, especially with how Lipscomb can really shoot the ball and score the ball. I'll co-sign that pick with Huffer and the over 142, over 143. I like that. I also like the fact that if it is a somewhat close game down the stretch, maybe it'll get the foul game we played. We'll kind of drag it out. But I see this as maybe a 80 to low 80 to high 60, maybe even 70s for Lipscomb. If Lipscomb hits 70, if Lipscomb hits 65, I think this game goes over that. I think Iowa State probably gets 80. I'll lay it with Iowa State here, though. I think that they have not good memories about the first round exit that they took when they shot the ball poorly against Pittsburgh, 2 years ago now. So I think that they roll here against Lipscomb, but I do think that they're going to give up some points. So I do like the over.
Let's go. Bill Siebert with us. Let's go, Bill. Yeah, J-Dub. I think Lipscomb can hang around a little bit. What's up, Mike? Appreciate you, dude. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, brother. Good name, too.
Question, Bill's asking. Serious question. Did anyone notice that these high point spreads didn't cover hardly at all during the conference tournaments? And do you look at that going into the big dance? The conference tournaments, those were the second, third time that those teams were playing each other. So there's a little bit of familiarity there. And here, not as much. And the first round, obviously, I know it's March. Like, teams are going to be excited, going to be ready to play. But you do got to factor in a little bit of motivation come to end game. If they're up, say it's a 17.5 point spread, they're up 20 with 4 minutes left. We in 6 minutes even, we see teams just kind of dribble out the ball. not run offense and just kind of go stagnant, and then all of a sudden they win by 12, 13 points. So I think, late games potentially with these big spreads, if they're hanging around that number, there's a chance. But I think, most of these teams will probably cover. I think I'm noticing the second day I'm liking a lot more dogs. Day one I was liking a lot of favorites. So I just think, late game is when it matters. Like if they're blowing them out, then they're fine. But if it's hanging around the number, I think the dogs will find a way to cover. Just because we've seen all year just teams just dribble out the clock, try to dribble it out with 5-6 minutes left and just go stagnant. So that's kind of how I see it. But, these teams haven't seen each other yet either. So not familiarity or repeat performances like a lot of conference play.
Well, Western Carolina is not playing in the tournament. They're not a 6-28 team catching 18 points. These teams have won close to 20 games catching this number. So I would just kind of look more at even how it was earlier in the season. And first half is almost a better play a lot of times too. I know I covered last year Western Kentucky first half, watching with the TCE guys. It's super booked there. And full game, they did not cover against Marquette. So yeah, sometimes that's a play too with these high spreads. I've taken a couple of those today.
Yeah. And then UFC, wondering why we're going head to head with TC. One, I didn't know that they were going to go this early. Generally they go after us anyway. So I was unaware of that, but we don't like going head to head with them, but we're not going to go at 1 a.m. or whatever after. So it is what it is. We love those guys. It's just unfortunate tonight, but there'll be more shows.
Yeah, and I know they're doing a show tomorrow too. I think we're just doing like a future show, and obviously the two lines that come out tomorrow night once the games are decided as well too. So Colorado State's laying 2.5 versus Memphis. Mountain West team's laying 2. Tyrese Hunter did break his foot? He is out.
Something. He's in a boot. It can't be serious. It can't be good.
He's out. He's done.
He has to be. This line's telling you he's out.
Yeah.
I'll take this one. No Hunter, no problem. Memphis wins outright. This is the too cute 12-5 matchup. Why is the 12 favored? Everybody's going to be on Colorado State Rams. Sure. I know that they've been playing really well. But I just don't see Colorado State being able to defend danger. I was thinking about it earlier today. Like Colorado State's not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to guard danger. PJ Haggerty, he's a shot creator down the stretch. Might be a mano-a-mano battle with him and Nick Clifford there for Colorado State. I don't think Colorado State's going to stay as hot as they have been from the 3-point line here in the last, 3-4 games. So, yeah, give me Memphis on the money line, and I will be betting this, and I will go against the public favorite and a lot of everybody's favorite upsets with Colorado State. So, yeah, give me Memphis money line.
Trevor, take it away.
Yeah. I know no Hunter's a big deal. But, Memphis has got Haggerty. Danger is going to be a problem, like Elliot said. I'm just torn on if this is bait for Memphis or if this is telling for Colorado State. I know Colorado State's been good, but they've lost to New Mexico twice, San Diego State. I think Boise got them. I forget who else they lost to in conference. Utah State, I think, one of those two. But Memphis, I don't know if you guys watched the AAC tournament or not, but they struggle with free throws. Like mightily struggle.
Specifically,
that's the reason. And if Colorado State wants to play a hack of danger, they could do that, and it could be issues. That was the reason Wichita State covered, because they couldn't make free throws at all. I think they were like 7 of 19 or something at one point. Like they were horrendous from the line here, but. I'm gonna take the points with Memphis too. I think Penny as a dog here. Colorado State, good season, absolutely, but just because Hunter's out, like they've beaten UAB, they've gotten it done. Granted, maybe they weren't very pretty, but I do agree with you. I think Colorado State has to regress a little bit. They shot lights out in the conference tournament at that building, and now they're traveling to a new spot. Memphis has the size, the athleticism, and Haggerty. We've seen him go for 25, 30, 40 points. So I think he can keep them in this game too. I'm hoping this pops up a little bit, like Memphis 3 or something, because I would love to take the points in the money line. But I, I'm gonna just not get cute and fade Memphis. I'm not saying Memphis is an elite team, but they're better than Colorado State in my opinion. But it is a little. It feels potentially telling that Colorado State's laying points. But Memphis for me so far. Maybe I'll just take the over in this game. With elite guards coming into this game, I think they can create shots and get shots or buckets for their team. Passing it and scoring. So I might look at that, but not 100% sure yet. But if I have to pick a side right now, it's Memphis. Just hopefully catch a 3. What about you?
Yeah. You know what? I don't like taking Mountain West teams really at all. I just think that the lower seed favorite is really interesting, which has kind of kept me away from it. So I'll side with you guys on Memphis. Just kind of fade the random 12 seed love here, but it definitely feels like one of those games that is an underseeded team playing an overseeded team. But Colorado State hasn't lost since February 11th. Defensively, they could be a nightmare for Memphis here. But I still think Memphis is going to come out with a little chip on their shoulder, especially on a get-up spot for Hunter, and also knowing that they got the extra motivation, catching 1.5 points, 2 points. Hell, even 3, I saw the number kind of bouncing around. So I might keep an eye on this one. I'm not going to bet it right now, but I'm going to lean Memphis and keep an eye on it. So if I change it, if I bet it myself, check the picks page. I'll have all my picks posted by tomorrow, Wednesday morning.
Yep. I have heard what's the freaking coach's name? I forget his name. He's got a
Nico Medved.
Medved, yeah. I heard he's taking calls too.
As he should be.
For jobs. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You can't blame the guy. So I mean, you have to also wonder about how locked in and whatnot is he for this if he's taking calls for other jobs. So just interesting. But this is the most intriguing line of the entire first round for me. This one right here. I'm really looking forward to watching this game. Vandy, St. Mary's. St. Mary's laying 3.5. Yes, Jen. Thanks. Minnesota. That's who I heard too. Medved to Minnesota. They canned Johnson. Did you see this? The Minnesota AD flew back from the Big Ten tournament before Minnesota's game finished, so that when it ended, they could fire Ben Johnson.
Nice.
Fucked. So fucked.
That's awesome.
Speaking of Nico Medved,
St. Mary's.
He's on CBS Sports Network right now. You know what happens when the coaches get too much popularity?
They're going to bring up, hey, you guys are favored.
Well, and Colorado State whooped the living shit out of Virginia last year too. And Memphis has had some tough tournament. They were so close to beating Florida Atlantic. They've had some tough tournament stretches. So I think they kind of play the chip on their shoulder here.
Yeah. Anyone want to start this, or I'll take it?
Go for it, buddy. I know what I got here.
I like St. Mary's here. They're damn good. They got those Euros. Their guards are pretty damn good. They do play really slow, really really slow. So if they're missing shots, they're cooked. That's gonna screw them. But their ability to take transition points away, their physicality, their rebounding ability. They can shoot too. Vanderbilt, has been a great story all year, winning games in the SEC. But they were getting wins at home. Now they're on the road. St. Mary's, this 136.5 total kind of feels telling too that St. Mary's is going to kind of just lock them down, not give them extra possessions, take away transition, and get St. Mary's style of game here. So I'm going to take St. Mary's. I'm going to take Randy Bennett and company to finally move past that round one. I know it's been a minute since they've advanced out of there, I believe. I think it's been a couple years, but I'll take Randy Bennett and company, laying the 3.5. As much as I want my Bobby Moe money line ticket to hit, I want to see St. Mary's versus Bama. That would be quite a game to see. I think you got one of, if not the slowest team in the country versus, one of the fastest tempo teams in the country too. So that would be a fun matchup to watch. But in this one, I'll take Randy Bennett over Byington here. Great year for Vandy. Byington probably going to take a job elsewhere, but I like St. Mary's.
Why would he?
That's just what I've just seen rumors on the internet that he's taking calls. There's rumors of him taking jobs other places there, but yeah, I mean, to your point, why would he? I mean, Vanderbilt's got unlimited fucking NIL, and he's already done this 1 year with some transfers. If he gets to bring in some guys here recruiting and Vandy's kind of got built up a little bit to where they're getting to be a successful programming, and he'll be able to bring in better guys in the portal too. Not to mention the unlimited NIL. So, I think he should stay. I mean, it's great for the SEC to now have to worry about going to Vandy and catching L, but given this spot here, Vandy on the road, St. Mary's off the Gonzaga loss, and how good they played. Now, granted, St. Mary's did not play great in the non-con, so that does kind of hurt a little bit. But I still think their style of play and ability to slow it down and crash the glass and take away possessions is going to be enough to get it done here.
Yeah, just going back real quick to that Colorado State Memphis. Since 2009, the Mountain West is 0-12 overall when they are the worst seed in the tournament. 2-10 against the spread as the worst seed. But looking at St. Mary's here, I will be on St. Mary's minus 3.5. I think that they got severely underseeded. I think that they should have been more on that 5 line.
You're on who?
St. Mary's.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Virginia. What am I hearing?
So I thought St. Mary's was underseeded. I think that they should have definitely been on that 5 line probably. I mean 6 at the worst. But the fact that they're getting a 7 sucks for Vanderbilt. I'm on St. Mary's here. I'll lay the 3.5. I like their defense. I do like Byington and what he's done there at Vanderbilt. Hard to fade him. But a team with AJ Hoggard on it here in March, I don't know how much I will trust him there down the stretch. And I think just St. Mary's as a team overall, they're the better team. And their defense will kind of get them here. I do like the under here as well. I also think that I have St. Mary's beating Alabama too in my bracket. So I like the Gales here to advance here and cover this, and then look for a fun Clash of Styles matchup against Alabama.
St. Mary's lost against Grand Canyon last year, but notoriously they've been able to sneak a first-round tournament game and get the job done. They did it back in 2010. I don't know if Della Vedova was on that team. I can't remember, but they did it in 2013, 17, and in 2022 against Indiana. They pummeled them. Given they were a higher seed than the 7, they were a 5. They're playing a tough Vanderbilt team that can force turnovers and get in transition. But I'll agree with you guys. I think St. Mary's gets it done. They roll here. Let's just see if they can kind of break their curse of winning the first one and then, kind of laying an egg in the second round. I definitely think 2 different styles of play. I want to see that as well too. But I think when on the short spread here, St. Mary's doesn't foul too much. Vanderbilt does foul a good amount. Not that St. Mary's is the best free throw shooting team, but hey, more volume can go a long way on the short spread. So I'll take St. Mary's' defense to clamp and get it done. And yeah, I mean, Trevor, I mean, I'm not going against you on saying this, but why would you leave? I mean, they have.
It's just what I saw. What I heard.
That's why I prefaced what I said.
You're good. You're good.
I'm just saying, you have 4 juniors and a sophomore on your team. Might as well try to keep that as long as you can keep some of those teams outside of the transfer portal. So, yeah, man, give me St. Mary's here to get it done. I'm with you guys here.
Yep.
Yeah, and Matthew Dellavedova was on that 2011 team, by the way. Tough.
Nice.
Delhi. Yeah. Next. Yeah, Grand Canyon, Maryland. Someone want to take this over? Actually, I'll go first because I have to leave in like 8 minutes. So just got to do like 3 games quick, and I'll be back probably before you guys even finish. But Grand Canyon, I think Maryland just dog walks them. Grand Canyon got the win last year in the tournament. Maryland, really big down low. Their guards are pretty solid. I do kind of worry about their depth. Once they start bringing in bench guys, the flow of the game kind of changes a little bit. But I think just with the crab 5 out there, playing majority of that game, I think they're going to be able to pull this one away late, and then free throws. I think this could be like an 8-9 point game and get to the free throw game late, and Maryland wins by 13-14 or so. So I will lay it with Maryland. I like their bigs down low, Reese and Queen. They lost on that buzzer beater, that heartbreaker, 94 feet layup. I think they're going to come in with a little bit of a mission in this one and not give up anything easy to Grand Canyon. And we've seen Grand Canyon just not look the greatest this year compared to what we have seen from them in the past couple of years. So I'll take Maryland here. I'll lay it 10.5 for me.
Yeah, tough travel spot for Maryland. You got to go all the way from Maryland all the way across the country to Seattle. But I mean, shoot, last time they went across the country, that was when didn't they just absolutely smoke? No, they lost both to Washington and Oregon. I kind of want to take the points here in Grand Canyon. I know I haven't been as high on them this year as I was last year. They do like to play with pace. But a lot of the Grand Canyon team, man, they've been there. They've got some good pieces. Cole's transferring in from TCU. You got Ray Harrison, one of their guards that's been there forever. Senior Grant Foster, Duke Brennan. You've got guys that are kind of seasoned veterans and seasoned in the tournament. And then when you look at Maryland, you've got a couple freshmen. One freshman, really, Derek Queen in particular. But then you got Rodney Rice is only a sophomore. None of these guys have really been necessarily, to the tournament. I think maybe this game is one where they kind of they win, but they eke by here. So give me Grand Canyon plus the 10.5. But I do have Maryland advancing.
Yeah, went back and forth on this one as too. But Grand Canyon, they did get an upset win last year against St. Mary's. Played out of their mind. Maryland, they missed the tournament last year. Nowhere near in sight of the top 25 pool. Kevin Willard's definitely got to get a little bit off his back. He's only been able to make it outside of round 2, or only make it to round 2 in the NCAA tournament. I think this Maryland team is just a bad matchup for these Grand Canyon Antelopes. And, I think the way they play down low, they got guard play. This might be a trendy pick, but, I think Maryland's definitely in for capable of a serious run here. I love Gillespie. I love Reese. I love Queen. I think they're going to be major problems on putbacks. I think Grand Canyon will be able to hang around for most of the game. But Maryland ends up winning this game by 14 points, maybe 12. And, I think this is it's one that if you're a Grand Canyon backer, you might be a little upset about. So, give me Maryland here. I haven't loved this Grand Canyon team. They lost by 11 to Arizona State early in the season. And now they're going to I think get outmatched physically here. And Maryland was kind of just drilling on these on lower end mid-major teams, even though Grand Canyon's a top 100 team analytically. So it's definitely not just a low end major team.
Yep, agree. Next, Norfolk versus Florida. We did back Norfolk against a Power 5, but that was Baylor, and they won by the hook.
This was the same number, I think.
I thought it was 24.5, somewhere around there. It was around this number.
26 or something, yeah.
Yeah, it was around this number, and they covered by the hook because of missed free throws.
Dude,
I question Florida the same way I questioned Houston's potential motivation. Florida just won SEC title yesterday. Kind of walked through that conference tournament, no problem. Norfolk State escaped South Carolina State after they had a huge lead, and they escaped with a 1-point win after trying to give that game away. South Carolina State. So I'm not going to say they have a new lease on life because they were leading that game and almost blew it, but I just think Florida is going to be too much. Like, this team's 26-8 against the spread or some shit like that. 27-8. Like, they're ridiculous. Like, they don't sleepwalk. They get up and they drill teams. I guarantee Florida will be one of the most public favorites the entire first round, 100%. In a 153 total. I think Norfolk kind of struggles to score here. I think that's the issue. They put up 50-something against Baylor. Norfolk State. 94-69. Never mind. So I was a little wrong there. But they still gave up 94 to Baylor. This total feels kind of low for a Florida game. I kind of think Norfolk struggles to score here. I think Florida wins this game 81 to 50, somewhere around the 50.
Do the math.
I'm trying. Somewhere around there. I think it's a struggle spot. I get them questioning the motivation, but I can't fade a team that's covered 70% of their games this year. They don't sleepwalk spots. So it'd be Florida or nothing for me. I'm going to find another way to bet this. I don't want to lay 20.5 on the Florida team off of an SEC title game. I had to do a new arena play this. So I'll put Florida, but I will figure out another way to actually bet this. I have to skedaddle quick. There's a couple games left. I mean, if you guys finish before me, if you want to just do some NIT for tomorrow, and then when I come back, we can finish up the NIT if you guys are doing that, and then do the old wheel spin. Get that taken care of.
Yes, sir.
But, all right. Best of luck, guys. I like Troy outright against Kentucky, by the way. Kentucky sucks. This Kentucky.
You have the wheel spin though, right? Don't you?
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it. So regardless, I'll be back. I think we're doing a baseball game in the two games tomorrow for the tournament. That should be about it.
Cool.
But yep, I'll be back. Fuck Kentucky, go Troy.
Yeah, I already bet Florida team total over 91.5. That'll be my bet for this. I'll pick Florida minus the 28.5. Don't really feel like I want to fade them. I think that they're a bad matchup. I think Norfolk, they lost by 12 or 15 to Tennessee earlier on in the season, kind of gave Tennessee a scare, but that's a better matchup for a Norfolk State team who likes to just lengthen possessions, play and kind of grind out games, slower paced games. I think this is going to be one where Florida just takes advantage and just kind of run and gun and go for maybe close to 100. So I'm on the Florida team total over 91.5. But I'll pick Florida minus 28.5.
Yeah, I'll do Florida as well. I'll lay it with Florida. I think it's going to be a problem with Norfolk, and just the height down low will be an issue with rebounding, and also I do like your angle of the team total over, and just I hope Florida's defense can hang and be physical enough to maybe even get a team total under angle for Norfolk State. I kind of like that too. I expect a blowout here, so yeah, give me Florida. Chomp, chomp. All right. Well, we know Trevor's side. Kentucky's laying 10.5 against Troy. That dreaded number. I see 11.5 places too now. Troy defensively is a nightmare, and they're able to, but they just haven't been able to compete against these teams and score. I know Kentucky's defense just allows you to do whatever, bring it on in. So Troy definitely has the chance to limit and minimize possessions here. But I think Kentucky can get this done and run them out. They've been able to do it against good teams, good tournament teams, given it was at Rupp Arena. So I just hope that we get a good Kentucky team that can shoot the three. I know Troy can kind of defend it well. So it's definitely two clashing styles of play. Troy on the inside versus Kentucky on the outside. But for me, I think this is I'm going to hop into the bait and take the bait. I haven't laid chalk this entire tournament, taking a 14 seed. So, but I mean, Trevor, just as much as he loves and worries about other people betting, which I'll tell him when he gets back in here, Troy is definitely a little more public dog here. Come on, Mark Pope, rally and get this March hump off your back.
So what's your pick? Kentucky?
Yeah, I'll lay it with Kentucky.
Yeah. I'll let this climb a little bit, and I'll bet Troy plus the points. I think Kentucky wins. I just think this is too many points for a good defensive team in Troy. The Kentucky kind of a little bit suspect on defense at times. Who knows the health status of Lamont Butler? They're already without Jackson Robinson and Kirk Kriisa. I do love the style of play
without Kirk Kriisa though.
I'd rather play without Kirk Kriisa
and Robinson, and they've dealt with adversity.
Yeah, I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just kind of stating who they're missing. Rigsby, the Rigsby brothers. I love the way that they play on Troy. They're from Texas. Love their style of play. Love how physical they are, and how physical they play with. I also like the two bigs down low, Dowd and Fields. So yeah, another thing that you look at, when 9-4 Sun Belt against the spread last 13 tournaments, and when when the underdog, when it's been 12 or fewer points, they're 4-0 against the spread. So I like, or 5-0 against the spread. Sorry. So I like Troy here to kind of keep it close, keep it competitive. Kentucky wins, but they win by 7-10. I'm going to make – I know you said you've seen a few 11.5s. Maybe it gets up to 12, so not going to bet this right now. But I will be on Troy plus the points.
All right. Battle there. Troy's offense is putrid. Yes, I agree with what P-Rose, Posse, Ryan Hasty. Yeah, I like that prop too. Yeah, Mountain West conferences they're horrible. And you got to think – okay, I got to do the math here. Five wins came from San Diego State, and New Mexico, I think, went on a run with Steve Alford to the Elite Eight, I believe, too. All right, speaking of New Mexico is catching 3.5 against Marquette. This game is one of my favorites of the tournament, and I see 4.5s available as well, too. And I will go against the metrics and what we just gave on this stat with Jeff, but I have faded the Mountain West a good amount this show. But I won't here. I like this New Mexico team. I think they have the guard play that hang around. I know Marquette's a physical team. New Mexico away from the pit isn't as good. But this just feels like a four-point game, 3-point game. So I'll take New Mexico plus 4.5. Their defense is definitely can be a factor, and down low they have the height to really mess with Marquette. That I think is a factor for them. And little Patino love here. I think New Mexico's just got to be able to match Marquette's offense. We know both teams are going to run fast. Both teams are going to allow a lot of points. I think this is going to be an awesome game, high-scoring game as well too. But I will take just the tad better defense over maybe the better team in Marquette. I like an upset here, and we'll go against my Mountain West fades and take the Lobos, catching the points.
Yeah.
Dent masterclass. Let's go.
Those other Mountain West teams did not have Donovan Dent on their team, so I will back New Mexico and Donovan Dent. I like them on the money line. I'll have them advancing in my bracket, but I'll take the points just to be safe. Plus 3.5. I do like the over as well. I think this could be a very high scoring game where it's in the upper 70s, low 80s for both teams. I think this is going to be an awesome game. Like you said, this is one of my favorites. Before you kind of stole that and said this is one of your favorites, I was about to say this game fucks because this is going to be freaking awesome. Cam Jones against Donovan Dent, back to back, just going back and forth at each other. I love it. So I can't wait to watch this game. This is going to be one of the ones that I'm looking forward to the most. And maybe we can touch base on a couple of the other ones that we look forward to watching, here after we get through it. But yeah, this is definitely going to be an awesome game. But yeah, New Mexico plus 3.5 for me. The only thing that scares me on the money line is they struggle from the free throw line. So hopefully down the stretch they can make their free throws.
Yeah, I'll do the plus 4 and take the push on Caesars. I'll be in Puerto Rico for March Madness, and the most famous online book that's been there for a while has been Caesars. So hopefully my rewards cards can get used using the app more there. Give me some rewards points to get some comps. Come on, get some comps. All right, yeah, that game's going to be awesome. So let's go Lobos. Akron versus Arizona. I'll try to get that plus 4 now. So, because that's going to move. It's been bouncing all around. Akron is catching, see 14.5 on DraftKings, 13.5 on FanDuel. So no matter what you like, shop around. It's the beauty of having, at least 4 to 5 book apps. I know having 6 to 8 is just ridiculous, but I think 4 to 5 is a good sweet window for you to diversify your money. Man, Arizona, Tommy Lloyd in March. They made it 2 Sweet 16s. They got something to prove, but for how volatile they are, man, I don't know if I can lay it with them. I'm not saying Akron upsets outright. I will maybe sprinkle it. But I know, and I saw Akron was getting steamed by the public. I don't care about that as much. I just like taking my sides that I love, but I didn't see that they were getting steamed a little bit. But Arizona's volatile, man, and I don't know which Arizona team that we're going to get. Akron really, their best team that they've played is St. Mary's, and they really haven't done well against teams outside of their conference, which is something I'm scared about from taking them on the money line standpoint. But I think Akron can kind of hang around here. So, man, I'm debating taking first half, but I think I'm going to take full game. I think Arizona somewhat in the lead, covering this number, and then Akron kind of comes back, and while Arizona kind of phones it in to end the game.
Yep. I can just go over to this comment that Virgil made. First, shout out Virgil. We haven't spun the wheel yet. We're waiting for you to get off work. It looks like you've been off work for 25 minutes now. So congrats. But yes, this will be my plays for me. Akron plus the points, and I do love the over as well. I love that over 166. I think this is a super high scoring game. Shit, both teams. It might be like 100-90. It might be 95-87, 95-85, something like that. I just see a lot of points coming in this game. But I will be backing Akron here. I like Arizona though throughout this bracket. So I don't think like you. I'm not calling for a upset by any means, but I do think that Akron can keep this close, kind of keep up the scoring.
And shout out Jen. I mean, Grouchy's definitely got some experience on big stage. Didn't do well, but he did take Armand Bassett, IU transfer. They beat Tennessee. Chris Lofton, Tennessee, 3-14. One of the I didn't know if anyone got that as a YouTube comment, but that would be a good one to also to take back in the day. And he made a Sweet 16 with another Ohio team a couple years later. So he's been able to take a MAC team further than he was any Illinois team. I like them to cover. Let's go. Shout out Nate. Appreciate you, man. Back door could be open. Yep, I love it. Let's go. Ooh, that's a good fact. Peanut Bros. Rodney Dent played at Kentucky with Mashburn Senior, so I'm guessing there's family ties there at New Mexico. And shout out Virgil. Appreciate you, man. This is for your troubles, fellas. Let's fucking go. Lots of troubles. So I appreciate that, man.
Ain't no troubles.
Ain't no troubles. Appreciate that. Life's good. Even better. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you always tuning in, and it's fun having you in the chat. So thanks, Virgil.
Hell yeah, Hasty. Hit that. He's seen a 164.5 in Canada, so definitely hit that.
Let's go, Jen M. You can get 14.5 on DK. Yep. Let's go. And thanks again, Virgil. Yep. Appreciate you. Oklahoma versus UConn. UConn's laying 4.5. Oh, baby.
I think we're on similar sides here.
I think UConn wins this game. Can they lay this number? I mean, or can we find a better number live? I mean, I've been able to do that with UConn so many times. Georgetown or Providence, Creighton.
I just don't know how much I trust this. I just don't know how much I trust this Oklahoma team to really take advantage and jump out in front of Connecticut.
I know, and it is Porter Mosier. I mean, he's got some March runs, but it is Hurley. I mean, imagine a Connecticut game and an 8-9 seed. I mean, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love this. That curse thing he did at that USC. But yeah, man, I think UConn gets this done. Figured we'd be on similar sides here as well. And I mean,
yep.
I want to see UConn versus Florida too. I want to see it. Be a great matchup.
I'll lay it with UConn here. I haven't been. I know, it's the SEC teams are going to be the teams that everybody's going to want to back just because of 88% winning percentage there in the non-conference. But I like UConn here. They're fully healthy. They kind of had gotten things rolling down the stretch, as you saw. Unfortunately, they lost that game to Creighton. But I like UConn. Have not been impressed with Oklahoma. I think a majority of Oklahoma's wins there in SEC play came at home. I know they beat Texas on the road there at the end of the season. But yeah, give me UConn minus the 4.5, and then sets up an awesome game against Florida, which I think Florida will absolutely just smoke UConn, hopefully, and put Danny Hurley in his place. Is my hope.
Yeah, I think UConn definitely is. It was on the TC show is one of my picks. If you had to pick a lower seed than 4 to make a run in that tournament, we were just laughing about what if we see a UConn versus Kansas Elite Eight? That'd just be hilarious.
I know. I saw that last night.
Total
I was watching last night.
Total
Please
statement.
don't let that happen.
Total statement game. All right, Bryant versus Michigan State. Michigan State's laying 17.5 against Bryant. Man, Bryant's good. And I did see a stat that on Twitter today. So teams that are not pre-ranked top 25 but make a top 2 seed have not fared well in March. So a little stat there. I know Michigan State's kind of been a public pick. I mean, I even have a future on them to win. I took it earlier in the season, but I still will lay it with Michigan State. I know Bryant's a good team. Martelli's definitely can make some noise here and spoil some victors. But it is Izzo in March, January, February, Izzo. And these teams that kind of run and gun, they're able to hang around for a little bit and then they just tire out. And I think Michigan State's efficient enough and has good defense enough that could really trouble Bryant. So I'll lay it with MSU. I do think Bryant can hang around in the first half though, and so I think that's a possibility.
Yep. Nope. I will be on Michigan State minus 17.5. Not going to fade Izzo in March. Disclaimer, I will probably be on a Michigan State. I'll be betting Michigan State every single game until I lose. More than likely, I'm guessing I'll win more than I lose here in this tournament unless they get booted early. But, I was just looking through Bryant's schedule, and there are 2 games. I mean, you're making a stretch here with their 2 games that they lost. The second hardest opponent was St. Bonaventure. They lost by 15. They played St. John's, and they lost by 22. Those are their 2 hardest games of the season. They fared well there in America East play. Good for them. But I don't think their style of ball is going to translate like Vermont's style of ball can give people trouble in the tournament. Their style is not going to be very how would I put it? It's not going to translate well to putting pressure on Michigan State. I think Michigan State's going to be able to handle what they do. Michigan State's seen it before. But yeah, I will lay it with Michigan State.
All right. And then the last tournament game that we have for the night, we'll obviously do the show. The lines get released, do the show. But Liberty is catching 6.5 against Oregon. Over-unders 139.5. I will lay it.
Yep, I'll lay it as well. I'll lay it with Oregon. I just think they're the far superior team. Also, the significantly better coach with Dana Altman. It would be pretty cool to see.
Richard McKay's a good coach, though.
Oh, no, he is. I'm just saying Dana Altman is a different breed when it comes to tournament play. It would be awesome to see Liberty kind of pop up.
The last time they were in the tournament, they did lose to Oklahoma State, but it was a 1-point game. And then the year before that, in 2019, because there's no COVID tournament, Mississippi State they beat outright. So they've been able to do it before. But I like this Oregon team. I think this is a sneaky team that can go far. They prove that they can play well, even against good defenses, and can match against even better offenses and teams that only play offense, so they can play both styles of ball. I like Oregon's offense here and getting it done. I think they ended the season pretty well. I know they laid an egg against Michigan State, but this just feels like another one where Liberty keeps it kind of close, but then fades out towards the end. They did beat your Kansas State boys on a neutral. They beat McNeese. They beat good teams, and really haven't gotten drilled before yet. So I think they're due for that. They did lose to Jacksonville State by 11, but every other loss has been pretty close. So this team hasn't experienced that too much. So yeah, give me Altman with Oregon as well too.
Yep. It'd be a fun little story to see Caden Matheny and Colin Porter raining threes down. Short little white dudes running around the court, draining threes all over the place. Zach Cleveland's also a good piece for Liberty. Was really impressed with his athleticism and the way he was able to play defense against K-State there earlier on there in the Virgin Islands. But I think Oregon is just going to be too much for Liberty. I think Oregon probably wins this by double digits. And I will be on Oregon minus the 6.5.
And Virgil, when was the last time Oregon was in the tournament and didn't get out of the first round? Great point. Hasn't happened. Only time it happened was Dana Altman at Creighton a couple times. So yeah, that's awesome. Good stat. Let's go, Virgil. All right. So tomorrow we're doing stuff on the futures field, but just so you know, we are going to now do a few NIT games at a release, not in the tournament games. So we are moving over to the NIT now.
Do you want to do just tomorrow's NIT and then talk about the Wednesday's NIT tomorrow after we talk to futures? And then we can see what else comes there.
I think that's a good call. Yeah, let's do that.
Just so I don't feel like we need to run through every single.
That's perfect. That keeps good continuity as well too with our show programming. So yeah. So
I'm gonna run back and just throw my picks out for those 4 games that I missed real quick.
100%.
Yeah, Troy's points and money line. I like New Mexico, Marquette. Dog shit. Fuck that team. All they do is run around and shoot jump shots. They have no identity. Akron, Arizona. This one I'm a little iffy on. I think Akron can hang in, but I'm worried about Arizona's size down low. Being able to kind of beat with them because Akron's like the shortest team in the country, one of the shortest teams in the country. I think that'll really affect them, but I don't want to lay 13.5 with Arizona. Maybe I'll just take the over. It's just going to be, jet pace up and down, back and forth the whole time. So maybe I'll take like an over or something. Oklahoma, UConn, give me Oklahoma 4.5 and money line. UConn, I don't think is good. Oklahoma, 3 elite guards. Jeremy Fears has been really, really good coming down the stretch. They should have beat Kentucky. They lost, so I think they have a sour taste in their mouth here. And UConn, I just don't think is that good. I already burned my. I didn't. I know my futures national championships are dead about 2-3 weeks into the season when they played a real team. So I'm not too worried about UConn. So I'll take Oklahoma here, points and the money line. And if you see Moser coming out with a tracksuit or like not wearing his actual suit, then we're fucked. But if he's coming out with the suit and everything, we're good. We're in good hands. Bryant, Michigan State. Did anyone take Bryant with the points?
No. I think I said Bryant could probably hang around in the first half, though. I think I just seen so many teams that run and gun just kind of lose it in the end of this tournament.
That's true. I don't hate that first half angle. I might ride the first half. I was liking Bryant with the points, because if Michigan State's not making shots, then it's going to be just a dog fight. So I'll take Bryant first half. Then I like that one. And then this one, Liberty. I've been eyeballing Liberty, but Altman and March. They've got the size. I just kind of like what Liberty's been doing. They've been hot, but maybe this 139.5 total is kind of implying that shots will not be falling for Liberty. But it does kind of feel like an odd spread. A lot of respect for Liberty, in my opinion. I would lean Liberty here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. What'd you guys do in that one?
I took Oregon, and UConn's going to fuck up Oklahoma tomorrow. Just so you know.
No chance.
Yep, I'm on UConn fucking up Oklahoma, and I'm on Oregon fucking up Liberty.
We're probably going to battle there because I'm definitely betting Oklahoma points and money line. Love it. Everyone's expecting a UConn Florida game. Everyone's expecting it. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It's gonna be Oklahoma, Florida. It's gonna be Fears versus Walter Clayton. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be sick. Let's call it a regular. Wait, which game did I say they were gonna fuck? Oh, I'll just go a regular fucking them up. I don't think Oklahoma is gonna skull fuck them. No.
Okay. All right. UAB versus St. Joe's. Let's get in the NIT. Let's not
Bang
in the
these out
tournament.
quick.
Yeah, let's bang it out quick.
This is a Wednesday game.
Yeah, you're on the wrong day. Well, we can do the Wednesday NITs tomorrow.
Oh
we
shit.
just want to do the Tuesdays.
Yeah, I did do the wrong day. Sorry, shit.
You're good.
Yeah, that's what we right when you were coming in, Trevor. We just said we'd do the we'll just do tomorrow's NIT.
Yeah. Well, I'll just read it out while he's typing it in. Bonnies are laying 4.5. What did I miss? I did miss one.
I'm doing it through Pickett. Not doing it through KenPom. But Jacksonville State, Georgia Tech's laying 5.5 against Jacksonville State. And I like this Jacksonville State team, man. I really do. I think they are a dangerous team, but I know Georgia Tech's been playing pretty good ball. They caught some momentum in the tournament. This does feel like, one of the only P5 teams that potentially could make a run. So I'll pick Georgia Tech. I'm not betting this game though. So I think Jacksonville State is definitely a worthy opponent, especially to open it up. But this feels like that P5 team that can make a run in the NIT.
Yeah, McCollum's probably out again. I think he's still dealing with his concussion. That'd be the only concern that I have for Georgia Tech. He's been out for the last few games.
They were fine with him though.
I kind of want to take the points with Jacksonville State. I like Jacksonville State. I know they just got literally destroyed against Liberty there in the Sun Belt Finals, in the Conference USA Finals. But it does scare me that Georgia Tech. I know I'm gonna fade the ACC. Yeah, give me Jacksonville State plus the 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean let's not act like the ACC was good in the non-con to start the year anyway. I mean this Georgia Tech team lost to North Florida, Miami lost to Charleston Southern. I mean like the overall as a whole the ACC was not good. Excluding the top three, Louisville, Clemson, and Duke. They were not good. So I like Jacksonville State here. I think what we saw from them against Liberty is not the actual Jacksonville State team that we've come to know for the year. I know they have lost 2 of their last 4 road games, but that was at Liberty and Sam Houston State. I like Jacksonville State here. I think Georgia Tech kind of ran out of mojo, similar to what Kansas State did. Not to bring that back up, Elliot, but similar to what they did. They kind of went on a run there. They had some big wins. They beat Clemson on the road. They beat Louisville, but they they finished the year winning 5 of their last 7, and then they lost to Wake Forest to end the year. Beat Virginia by 6. That game was fairly tight, and they kind of pulled it out late. And then they almost had Duke. You got to give it to them, but I just think they kind of run out of mojo, and you got to question the motivation for these guys, and will the whole team even play? I mean, there's a good chance somebody's opting out or sitting out or something for this one, and like you said, McCollum's not going to be in. So I think we see a bounce back from Jacksonville State. Get up spot for them, going to a P5 school to end the year. So I like Jacksonville State. Do I think they win? I don't know. I mean, if it's 5.5, and they cover that, they're obviously right there to win it. But I'll take the 5.5 with Jacksonville State here. I think it's a much better showing than Liberty, and Liberty is better than Georgia Tech. So I think it's a little bit of a dumbbell theory. Play a better team, now you go play a worse team. Get up for them. So let's go Jacksonville State.
Nah, Georgia Tech's gonna win the tournament. But
They can win and not cover 5.5.
All right, let's go. Kent State versus St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure's laying 4.5 against Kent State. Man, I know St. Bonaventure at home is different. Kent State's defense is pretty good, but so is St. Bonaventure's. I kind of think we can definitely see an under here. I like the under on this play. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. This game's in the high 60s. The winners in the high 60s, losing teams in the low 60s, and this is a sketchy number. It's one of those kind of sketchy numbers, but I think the under definitely is in play. And if I had to lean aside, I'd take Bonaventure just being at home, but I just haven't loved them to back them, so I'd rather take the under.
Yeah, I like Kent State with the points here. They're a very experienced team. They do lack size a little bit here in this matchup, so that could hurt them. But they're still, 20th in the country offensive rebounding. They just gang rebound. Defensively, they rebound also. Bonaventure offensively does not crash a glass. It's the defensive end there. They focus on taking away possessions from you. So this Bonaventure team has kind of been so hit or miss too. Kent State experienced. These guys are old. They've been playing together. I'll take Kent State to get it done here, and at least cover this number. I'll take the points with Kent State over Bonaventure tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll battle you here. I'll be on St. Bonaventure. I think the conference, the A-10 conference, is significantly stronger than the MAC, and I think that shows here. We're getting Kent State on the road against St. Bonnie's. I think the Bonnies in the season, how they started the season by covering a lot of these games against the spread. So I'll rock with St. Bonaventure minus the 4.5.
All right, Chattanooga's going into Middle Tennessee and Murfreesboro. A little Tennessee rivalry here for the Battle of Tennessee. Middle Tennessee State's laying 2 against Chattanooga. What do you guys got?
Fucking banger game.
Yeah.
Too bad this is on ESPN Plus.
I'll take Middle Tennessee at home. I'll bet them on the money line. I know Chattanooga's a good offensive team and definitely a worthy opponent, but I think they can get easily exposed, and Middle Tennessee's got the better defense here. I know in Murfreesboro hasn't been the best play this year like it has been, but I think they get it done. I'll take Middle Ten.
Is Frank Champion playing? I mean, I know he was out for the SoCon tournament. He's a big piece for Chattanooga. I'd play Chattanooga if he was in. If he's out, I'll play Middle Tennessee on the money line with you, Huffer.
Frank Champion news.
Game time decision. You won't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll wait till tomorrow.
It's Middle Tennessee at home. They've not been good at the end of the season. I'll take Chattanooga. Give me the +2. I think maybe them being a dog kind of implies that they expect them to be up, but they're not sure. I think even without him, I think Chattanooga still has enough pieces to beat Middle Tennessee. And if this is at Chattanooga, I'd be on Middle Tennessee. It is what it is. I just don't like Middle Tennessee at home. Halfway through the year, downhill. They kind of struggled at home. So let's go Nukes. Mock up.
All right, St. Louis is catching 5 against Arkansas State. Over/unders 154. I can't bet St. Louis again one more time. It did work against Davidson, and I faded them correctly against Loyola Chicago, so it was nice riding that out in the momentum. But I don't know. I think this Arkansas State team is going to be getting up for this game. I think fans are going to be getting up for this for an NIT spot, a chance at glory, and I like this Arkansas State team. I'll lay that bad number. It's a no-brainer, right? St. Louis is catching 5. They got Avila, Swope. They got all the guys. They're not the same though. So I give the Arkansas.
Yep. I mean, everything I've been doing, Arkansas State, I fade them on the road, back them at home. So Back them at home yet again right here. Arkansas State -5.
Yep, Ark State up. Red Wolves, let's go. They don't have turnover issues. They can force turnovers. St. Louis, I just don't like them on the road. And like you said, Avia and all these guys catching points. Feel like it's going to be a nice public spot. St. Louis has turnover issues. Arkansas State has the ability to force some turnovers too, and good perimeter and interior defense. So I'll take the team that also shoots 73% at the line versus 69%. So let's go Red Wolves.
All right, Wichita State's laying Wichita State versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's laying 5.5. Over unders 155.5. What are you guys doing here? Are you shocking or are you poking?
Shit.
Who wants to lay 5.5 with Oklahoma State?
I will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. I'll lay it. I'll pick Oklahoma State. I'm not betting this though. I do like who. Sorry, I put away the chat. Whoever said the under. Yeah, Dusty Bottoms. Let's go, Jacob. Yeah, I like the under there too as well. It's possibility.
Yeah.
I'd rather pick the under than OK State.
All right. I agree. That's a high total. Jesus.
Yeah, it is Steve Lutz's Oklahoma State team though. Both teams run
fast-paced offenses,
and there's no defense. So
Oklahoma State, nobody's gonna be here, but they do play good at home. I'll lay it with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I'll lay it with Oklahoma State. I don't mind the over, to be honest. There's gonna be no defense, and both these teams play fast anyway. So, I could see an over here, but I'll lay it with Oklahoma State. Nobody who wants to lay fucking 5.5 with Oklahoma State's anybody. Absolutely nobody. I'll take
Trevor
it.
Uh,
likes the total. I'm fading it. CSUN
Probably
versus
taking under, yeah.
I don't know. CSUN versus Stanford. Stanford's laying 6. CSUN versus Stan -6.5. Over under is 155. This
10
dog,
p.m. game. Fuck yeah.
This dog I will take. I will take Cal State Northridge. I think they can kind of mess with Stanford defensively, and Stanford does get most of their points from three. If that's their edge to kind of win this game, and the free throw discrepancy as well too. And CSUN does foul a lot, so it is a little scary here. But I like this CSUN team. They've really been able to compete. They haven't had really a shot outside of USC, and they didn't play well. But very experienced team. Couple players that definitely are transfer portal worthy to a P5 school. I'll take CSUN to cover the spread in Stanford. This is the one P5 I will fade here. Stanford first half though. No show.
Yeah, I like Northridge.
Yeah. Go.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good.
Go.
You go.
I was gonna say what's the last time? What happened last time Stanford put a Big West school? They lost to Cal Poly outright at home. Give me Cal State Northridge.
I like that.
Plus the 6.5.
Yeah, Northridge for me too. Northridge does foul a lot, send you to the free throw line a lot, which does scare me considering Stanford shoots 78%. But Stanford, one of the bottom 80 teams in the country at getting to the free throw line. Stanford also fouls a lot, and CSUN gets to the line a bunch. They shoot 73%, so I mean it's not like they're terrible from the line either. They can shoot, and CSUN great interior defense. I think if they can slow down Renault a little bit, it's going to be a tough day for Stanford here. So I will fade the nerds. Let's go Northridge. What are they, the Matadors or some shit?
Yeah.
Yep.
UC Riverside's catching 11.5 against Santa Clara. They played already in the season, and Santa Clara won by 31. I am not afraid to lay it again. I will lay it with Santa Clara at home. This feels like an NIT-worthy team.
They won by 42.
42, excuse me. UC Riverside is his defense is pretty bad. I like this UC Riverside team. Offensively, they can hang, and they did well against the Big West. But I think Santa Clara outclasses, and they really haven't had a shot at the postseason as much under this Herb Sendek team. And I think this is a little spot for them to get up for Herb and make a little run in this NIT tournament.
Yeah, I agree. And, like you said, they played earlier. Do you remember who Santa Clara just lost to also in the WCC? The
Pepperdine?
Waves of Pepperdine. Yep. I think they've been sitting, waiting on who they're going to get. Riverside also gives up a lot of points. I mean, Santa Clara, we know, can light you up from 3. Same with this Cal Poly team that Riverside just lost to, 96-83. So I don't hate a Santa Clara team total over. I think it's around like 84.5, 83.5, somewhere around there. I like the points with Santa Clara or taking the team total over. I think Santa Clara runs them out the gym, to be honest.
Yep, I agree. On both those angles, I like both of those. I like Santa Clara laying the points, and I also like Santa Clara team total over. Shout out to UC Riverside for absolutely fucking the whole postseason tournament, making the CBI try to invite, making the NIT invite South Alabama, and then having to fucking take South Alabama's fucking invite back, and so now South Alabama isn't in any of the tournaments.
South Alabama would have been a much better matchup. I would have loved to see that game.
Yeah. So just
that angle too. Bad karma for Riverside here. Bad karma.
Yeah.
And not to mention the NIT posted. I'm pretty sure it was like debunked as like a Chat GPT apology to South Alabama, and then they posted their bracket after that last night, and just like the Oakland A's, because they get so much shit, their comments are turned off. The replies are turned off on Twitter. You can't respond or put anything under. So they got a bunch of shit and just like, fuck this, we're not dealing with this. Turn this off. We haven't gotten this much attention in fucking 30 years. We don't like it. All right.
Let's get it. Let's get we want to show you guys appreciation. We've been running this for now a couple weeks, and the one-on-one merch spin will be if it lands on you, we're going to spin it once, and if it lands on you, we'll make sure you DM one of us at least, or DM the Pump Fake Pod Twitter account, and we'll get you squared away here on our 101 custom merch. And we will make some news in the off season about having some merch as well too, and kind of expanding that and expanding on all fronts. So stay tuned. Definitely, I've talked about the picks page next year, what we've been developing here, and a couple of friends been developing for us as well. So keep on going up. But let's get to the wheel spin. Let's get out of here. It's 1 a.m. I want to get out of here. So. Let's wheel spin.
And, like you said, message us on Twitter. That's the easiest way. I'm not really sure. I don't know if you can get DMs on YouTube. If you can, I guess message on there, but preferably Twitter. That's the easiest to get a hold of for us. So here it is.
And we'll let's do it.
Go for it.
No, I'll just say
everybody in here who commented.
If we don't hear you, or if we don't hear from you, we'll definitely try to reach out. Somehow as well, but if we don't hear from you for 96 hours or something, might have to see about another wheel spin or something. I don't know.
Forecast, you're supposed to comment on the video. I'll let it slide. Drop your favorite college basketball player. Do it. I'll give you 10. You got 15 seconds. Oh boy, yeah, he's definitely in.
Tanji.
He's just sucking up now.
No way. It's easily
he's a salesman. He knows what he's doing.
All right. Here we go.
So without further ado, little drum, little Clark Griswold drum roll.
Here we go. Here it is. Oh, no
Oh,
way. So close.
oh, Virgil. Yo,
Virgil and
JLag
forecast were right
33.
there.
All right. Shout out JLag 33. You are the winner.
Yep. Shout out J-Leg. If you're in the comments or watching the video tomorrow, preferably Twitter, Pump Fake Pod, or any of us, I guess if you can verify who you are, like whatever, I'm sure we'll believe you. But
The juice. It's the juice. Let's go.
oh, the Juice. That's I had a boy Juice.
Let's
There
go.
you go.
Juice.
There you go. Hey,
Let's go.
DM
Hell
one of us on
yeah.
Twitter, preferably the Pump Fake Twitter. You're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna figure, what's it, a sweatshirt or a t-shirt,
Yeah,
coffee
it's-
mug,
it's-
whatever. We'll figure it out.
It's a hoodie. Yeah, we got you. Most likely a hoodie. So but definitely some one-on-one merch, and the first merch that we've ever had. So hell yeah, let's go.
You get Trevor's internet set up.
Yeah, you get his streaming services.
Yeah.
The
And
Juice,
shout out
you know,
Juice. He's been here for a while too. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Juice, do you have you got like Instagram or if
Hey, Juice, you're in Kyle's Discord, right? If you're in Kyle's Discord, just DM me on
Perfect.
there, and then we'll get that figured out. Pretty sure you're in there, right?
Perfect.
He has IG. All right, yeah. I don't even know what my Instagram
Yeah,
is.
Discord or you can follow me. You can I'll send. It's just like my Twitter, Michael_Huffer3. So yeah, everyone feel free to dox me. We'll hang out. We'll get that squared away. I'm glad the Juice. I know Virgil was right there. I didn't see the other person was right there. So thanks guys for playing. And yeah, like I said, we got things on the way in the off-season show that we'll announce regarding our picks page, and also maybe even amplifying the merch a little bit too. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Don't worry. We'll be around in the summer. We'll do some occasional episode. We got more shows coming this year anyway. Season
Yeah,
8
we're
close
gonna
to
do
being
off
over.
season shows. We'll do some transfer portal, maybe not daily like
No.
we do in the season, but for the most part daily. Yeah, like have fun on Saturday nights. So yeah, that's that. Appreciate you guys. It's been awesome. It's been a hell of a season, and it's not
Yep,
over
just,
yet. We'll have some off season shows.
Yep, baseball, and then who knows what else we'll do. Maybe Huff and Berg do a WWE show. Who knows?
I think a WrestleMania show is definitely in a possibility. So to see if they get some lines on that. Call up Triple H.
I think you can bet on that shit now too. I think I've been seeing some.
Nah,
some shit
it
on that.
never came to fruition. And but
Oh.
there is like a sweepstakes things that they do. Like a 20-person questionnaire on like DraftKings and like predict the match winners and stuff. So outside of that, no. But yeah, Pat Sajak would be proud of that wheel. Good shit, Trevor. That was good. Good
Yep.
color
Hey,
scheme.
we'll keep it around. We'll erase everybody's names, and then the next giveaway we'll do another wheel spin. Everyone loves the wheel; it's electric.
Hell yeah.
We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. Futures, so like Sweet 16, some national championship long shots, reach Final Four, shit like that. And then we'll do day 2 of the NIT also. So round 1 NCAA and day 1 of NIT. Check, that's done, and we'll be back tomorrow. What time? Are we gonna go early again? Or are we gonna go normal, like 10 Eastern, 10:30 Eastern?
Probably normal. Well, I'll hit up Max so that way we don't run into each other too as well too. Try to coordinate with them. So
yeah, sounds good. We'll let it out. I worked a little late, so that's why I got the link and everything sent out late today. But we'll be back. I'll make sure it's out early as possible with the time we do. So appreciate you guys, and again, Juice, just message Huff on Instagram there, and he'll get it all squared away. And we got to get it made and everything, but we won't forget about you. It'll get sent out. But everyone, appreciate it. Best of luck on the NIT tomorrow. Hopefully we win everything, and we will see you back here tomorrow night. Toodles.